And so you're looking at this 28-day journey. I don't believe you'll need to make checks for uh, any of them actually, because Connor is still with you. Does have Starfarer um, at level 1, so automatically succeeds spike drill checks of 10 or less. Pull back up the, that would be in the ship section. Chart there. Come on. This is taking longer than I wanted it to. Here we go. So, base difficulty is always 7. It's going to be +1 for each 2 hexes. So all of your jumps, except for from Demos to Detail, are going to be an 8 base. And out to the distance of your logistics, so we did also establish that that affects how current your rudders are. But that's only going to affect travel if you try to go more than 2 hexes. As a in-universe lore, any station or any system that has adequate facilities for a refueling station, it also has galactic mandate required infrastructure that shares automatically receives from you any rudders of 1 or 2 hexes, and shares back to you rudders to systems within 1 or 2 hexes, as long as it has them. And that's where you're going. There's no reason it wouldn't have them. So everything is going to be rudders less than a month. That brings you back down to a difficulty of 6. And I mean, I guess Connor could actually trim the course if you guys wanted him to, with still no rolls required.
So trimming the course would allow us to make this journey in a shorter time.
It would, yeah. It adds 1 to your spike drill speed basically, which when you're so low makes a bigger difference. I mean, it'll cut it down by 50, not 50%, by about 33%.
I mean, yeah, if we think that that won't add any time to the or any if that won't make us make rolls, I say absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's
Even then,
still,
I think we're good on rolls.
yeah, it still won't even require the rolls because it'll still be less than 10 difficulty. So that would make all of your 12, everything that was a 6 turns into a 4, and the 3 turns into a 2. So it basically, for some reason I can't I can't do the 28, but 4, 8, 10. No, it doesn't have the time. Hang on, I'm doing
Hold
this
on,
wrong.
I've got this because it was going to be 6 days. It becomes 4, but you're also forgetting about the 48 hours in system.
No, I'm not. I was gonna tack that on at the end.
So
Yeah, if it was
6 plus 6 plus 6
so
plus.
it's 21 days before, so 14 would be 33% less.
Okay, that's actually what I was getting for. So 14 plus
It's
the
just
8.
it's just a coincidence that the 14 is half of the 28 that you came up with earlier.
That is what was throwing me off.
That was just, yeah.
All
I was
right.
like, wait a second.
So what? 22 days in transit.
Yeah. Transit and fueling. Which is still better than the 28. That's cutting 6 days off.
Okay.
It's cutting 7 off. It would have been 29, I believe.
So, kind of a partly in-game, partly out-of-game question, or out-of-character question. Um, how much discretion do we have in which of these planets we stop at? Or, I mean, do you determine whether we stop at them or not
We're
based on in-universe stuff?
Elena's path, as selected by her, would be Zenthra to Holau to Deimos, Daytel, and Kuditahirti. But it's not just selected by me. She's the one that's making that decision. If you think that there's a different path that should be taken, let her know.
Sorry, no, let me rephrase that. Even if that were the path that we were to take,
Hmm.
if we would just assert we're going to skip on through, get fuel, and make no unnecessary stops on the way.
which I think is the default assumption.
Right.
Hmm.
Do you just drop us in Kuti to Hurti, or is there something else that we need to do or consider about the possibility of you know
Yeah,
events happening at one of the stations or
I gotcha.
anything like that?
Yeah, I am going to, like, if you tell me that you're not planning to do anything, then I will just drop you at Kuditahirti, pending any other events that I have.
I mean, Marcus wants to hop into some of the stations just to see if there's been a influx of ships going in a certain direction.
Okay.
Basically, e.g., the direction we're going.
Yeah. And we can either spend 5 minutes on that or make a scene out of it, however you prefer.
I still want. You know me. I'm like a dog with a bone. I still want to figure out what the heck the Tilly is really bothering me now. Now that I've actually looked at it.
So you want to do some espionage or some reconnaissance in Daytel?
I mean, so you said like they determine, like, how do they determine that and not know what the issue is that causes it to be a logistical problem? You know. Anyways, I think Marcus wants space. Marcus, you're looking at basically like competition going to the Knox station. Is that what you're looking at?
Just to let you guys know that Ben's microphone may melt every once in a while.
Oh.
No, sorry, I was looking at the map. Trying to look at the map and just think of if there's other ways people could go there. I'm trying to see.
Majority of traffic probably passes through like Demos, but I think that's probably just a reef. Well, let me see.
Oh my gosh, guys! Did you read the description on Kirby and Daytel? I think I found the problem. Robots roam the crumbling infrastructure now, searching endlessly for human life to exterminate.
That's on the planet, and they don't have space flight.
I mean, the people don't have space flight.
Well, presumably the robots don't either.
No, there isn't too much threat from from Kirby, from the robots in Kirby, unfortunately. I'm glad you enjoy that, but
I would have been more concerned if it described the planet as being large, pink, and round.
Wait, what?
Kirby.
Oh,
And spaceships go mysteriously missing in the system all the time.
secretly black hole.
A pink black hole.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking like Demos or Daytel, or they'd either go like the bad way to the right,
So Daytel's system refueling
or they
station is
jump
just
from like the
that-
bottom from Meribia to Eligara.
Yeah, I suspect most well, I guess technically you could go like if you wanted to go around Daytel, you could technically go like on VQ to Eligar. But I suspect most traffic would go through Daytel because keep in mind like March is like the center of trade. Actually, I guess from March though, I guess you really could go around either way if you don't mind going through UIS space.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably the same difference.
based on what Meowkin said, I would certainly be interested in stopping in Daytel for some reconnaissance to figure out what the what the
logistical
logistics hang up
problem.
there is. Because anything that we can do to make any of the space around us more logistics friendly is long-term advantageous.
Yeah, I mean, and that random 5 points right there is a major, because that's base of that northwest section is like major Mercure core territory, like
Yeah.
Tolance, Iblas. No, I guess not Iblaso, but Goody Tehirti and Tolance, I think, are the major Mercure core systems.
All right. Take a look at your screens there.
Yeah.
You should see a big old Raza token, and I'm adding those stats to it right now. Logistics on the left. Assets in the middle, because that's money, and support on the right. Blue because it's people.
Yeah, sure. And your default tokens are blue, right? I think. Or at least the
Purple.
default person token is. Nah, I'm talking about the default person token in Roll20.
I think I could change the color of that. No, I can change the color of all the circles across all tokens, but not individual.
I can see the token. I cannot see the values.
Oh,
There. Oh, I thought you were still working on it.
nope. It was supposed to update automatically. Let me make sure I've linked them correctly then.
Oh, I see.
I need to be able to okay. Yeah, I need to be able to update them on one screen and they get updated on all screens. And so
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. So it's
let's just remove that. I will relink it, save, and now, okay, back over here. Let's just drop another one next to it.
trying to do it as an NPC, or are you doing it as a
There you go.
shit?
So,
Oh, cool.
I'm not even using the character sheet. The only reason I'm using the character sheet is to link it at all.
Oh, okay.
And now I'm going to go to a different screen, to a different token, and change it.
Let's see if it reflects here.
Did it change?
9 out of 10, 5 out of 5, 12 out of 14. I don't think so.
Huh. No, I changed that to 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't think changing on the token, even though they're tied to, I think it has to be tied.
It has
Are
to
they
be
tied to a stat?
No,
for
you're right. It has to be tied to a stat on the character sheet.
Yeah.
All right, I will do that later. I'll figure out what stats to co-opt for that. But for now, that's
Okay.
that'll work. Yeah. All right.
And again, those are logistics. I forget what they are. Where's the screen that tells us what they are?
Logistics, assets, and support.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
From left to right.
Yeah.
Logistics,
Think of the green as money and funding and actual equipment.
Blue is people.
The red as kind of your limiting factor. That's the logistics. You suffer when you go beyond that. And then blue is people. I got no association
Blue.
for that one.
Blue
Soylent
and
Blue
green
is
is
people.
Yeah. Soylent Blue, there we go.
Oh, this will be slightly political, but consider it. Blue is people because democracy is blue.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if that'll help anybody. But
Probably not.
there's your token. I'll figure out how to link it to other stats that the sheet is that the sheet has. So I need something that has both a minimum and a maximum on the sheet, and I need to find those. But there's plenty of those. Heck, I can use PC hit points and NPC hit points for 2 of them. That'll be easy. I just don't want to do it right here while we're streaming.
We'll do it live. Or not, as the case may be.
Yeah, but not. That worked good. All right. So, yeah, it sounds like you guys do want to make a couple of stops as you go along the way.
I'll be right back. I need to step away for just a moment.
Okay. If you do, Ben, if you do want to investigate what kind of competition you think you might be facing, Holau, excuse me, Holau is a fantastic place to do that. In Holau is the mercenary swarm, called the mercenary fleet on Stars. Hang on, swarm.
Mercenary fleet, yeah.
Nope, it is called mercenary swarm. You may have to reload for changes to be made, but don't worry about it. It's just one word.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's called a swarm, huh?
That is basically a space meeting grounds or neutral zone for mercenaries.
Kind of like what we have, but for pirates in a way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Well,
Which
the
case-
pirates are in our system.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the parallel he was making.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I gotta argue the specifics. Too. I don't know that my pirates are really swarming. I say our pirates.
They're more buzzing?
Like fleas to.
Yeah, I mean,
like flies to honey.
And I'm back.
we'll go back. So you're I actually am now going to take you to the other screen with all the stuff on it. I was just refusing to, so that you can try and find some mnemonic or some other way to remember. So your ship, the Marmoset, is being set up, prepared. Command is using the Corvette right now. And as an additional side, I've kind of considered that making you guys choose which ship you were going on at the very beginning may have been premature, considering that the Raza should theoretically end up with multiple ships under its command. I don't know how I feel about that. That's something that maybe we can talk about. Basically ask, do you guys want to be free to hop from ship to ship, or do you want to kind of put a personal investment into your ship? So think about that. I'll ask you about it later. If I remember. Ship question. But yeah,
Which this point, do I take?
Yeah.
Sorry.
At this point, there's no other ships available for you, and this is identified as a priority, especially with as long as it'll take to get out there. You know that you already know that there's going to be mercenaries working that, or scavenger teams at the very least. And so, as usual, Elena is a busybody getting the ship all prepared. Little Grace is checking over tech schematics. Ivan is setting up the kitchen. Then you've got Natario and Alexei just doing what needs to be done, while Elazad and Fairbanks do a quick once-over of the armory. Elena gives the all clear and gets authorization to launch from command, and then puts the call out to you guys that we're mission ready and go for launch in 1 hour. You guys can take care of any business you've got lingering on Dry Sun, and
Marcus,
hop
did you
on.
remember to get your chair loaded?
Yeah, my chair's on the ship.
Oh, okay.
In my room. Can it be in my room?
Sure.
Do
Will
we
it
have
fit in the
individual
room?
rooms?
Oh,
Nope.
no, but it's my room. It's just got my chair.
It's just a shared room, but
I think that after last session, Oogie would be helping Ivan set up the kitchen.
Okay. Yeah. Ivan welcomes the help. Oh no. I copied all the NPCs over and now they've all got those descriptions popping up. If that's bothersome, I will fix it later.
Oh, like
Yeah, that's fine.
their mouse over text?
Yeah.
No, I'm super happy about that.
Okay. So you do want it on the other screens.
Yeah, I'm happy to have quick reference that if we're talking about some NPC, especially one that I don't know well, that I can just get a quick, what would I know about this person?
Okay, cool. Let's see. Turns out Lily Grace is also from Thurid. So she is from the system that you're ultimately traveling to.
yeah, but probably never left Thurid. I mean, come on, why would you leave the place?
Ivan.
So how does? Well, we'll have a role play session with her. I want to know how Lily Grace feels about this.
Okay. You want to do that before your lift off while everyone's busy, or just
in transit
somewhere? Yeah. Yeah. Ivan does give a little bit of choice to Oogie on what kind of spices and flavor profiles he's preparing for. He can't bring his entire kitchen because, small ship. Just kind of meant to feed military people out of MREs. He's not satisfied with that, of course.
as well, he shouldn't be.
Now he does have a very strong bias towards spicy, so there's no way that spicy can be removed from what he's preparing for the ship. At least not entirely. He could be convinced to prepare non-spicy dishes if that's something you want Oogie to approach.
Yeah. So here's the deal, Ivan. I know you like spicy and I like spicy, but there are folks, believe it or not, who don't particularly like spicy. So what we ought to do is make sure that all of the real hot stuff is in shakers that people can add themselves. It's only considerate.
Who not like spicy on Marmoset?
Yeah, we're going to have some talks with them.
Oogie gets a glint in his eye and he goes, well, I heard it through the grapevine that Captain Elena is not too crazy about spicy food.
he cracks a conspiratorial grin. Who is it really? Is it you do not like spicy Oogie?
Are you kidding me? I ate 2 big bowls of that chili you made. It was fantastic.
And it was burning all the way down, huh?
I mean, it hurt, but it hurt so good.
Just want to break out real quick. Were you? Was Oogie just literally making that up, or was that something that you want to say he did here?
No, Oogie was just making
Okay.
that up, kind of stirring the pot, seeing how Ivan would respond.
Okay.
He recognized on the first mission that Ivan was making puppy dog eyes at Elena.
Okay. uh. I'll have to maybe ask Elena what she thinks about spicy food then. Huh?
You mean you don't know yet?
This
That might be the core of your problems.
he looks over at Archibald. Okay, gig is up. Elena's reason I cook spicy is
Yeah.
not as kind on my stomach, but she likes spicy. She loves spicy. Though all food is spicy. In the awkward silence, he clinks his. I guess it would be a metal spoon. You wouldn't want wooden spoons cooking in space, so he clinks the tip of the metal spoon against the bowl. He's against the pan. He's securing against the wall. Maybe it's too much information, duh.
Well, I mean, I honestly, I was just kind of teasing you, fella, but I mean, if that's what you're doing it for, maybe a better choice would be to, kind of be you. Stand up for yourself.
I'm staying out of this.
Is kind words, Oogie. Maybe we'll sit down and talk over a beer sometime.
Yeah. We'll chat about this. I didn't mean to make you feel bad.
It's just awkward.
You're telling me.
Elena serving on the same ship after we split up. But his needs of the Raza. Huh?
Oogie kind of eyes the spices and the small assortment of food, and he goes, "Yeah, definitely just Raza. Not because anybody requested, your presence specifically."
Oh. He pauses at that. Maybe not tell Elena that.
My lips are sealed, brother.
You were not successful in convincing Ivan to pack anything except spicy food.
Mission failed.
Task failed successfully, I would say.
I was gonna say, that's fine by Oogie.
It is funny. If any crew do start to feel it and complain, you've got several station stops along the way that you can always. You're already replenishing supplies, so it's not like you've packed enough for. Oh, I guess you have packed enough for a whole month. That's how a whole 2 months. That's how life support works in stars. So you've got spicy food for 2 months.
I mean, you can like fill up on your own stuff in between, but
You do, yeah.
spicy food.
I'm thinking it's like Archibald's not a picky eater, but probably after a month of nothing but spicy food, might get a little tired of it. So you just might try anyone's patience.
We'd always just do breakfast for dinner.
You think Ivan's breakfast isn't spicy?
Yeah, why would you think his breakfast
man. Ain't nobody makes spicy flapjacks.
He makes spicy eggs.
Well, spicy eggs are good. Again, within reason. But,
He does have an assortment of breakfast spices, so there is variety, and once you've gotten used to the variations in his spice, you recognize, oh, this is breakfast because of the different type of spicy it is.
It's a breakfast spice for dinner.
It's It's just like the warm up, just a little tingle. Then comes lunch, where it's a little bit bizarre, just
And
tiny
his
maybe
Gonna come in
ginger.
here one day and somebody's gonna have organized his spice rack. You're gonna have 5 columns. You're gonna have scary spice, sporty spice, baby spice.
ginger is one of his spices. Yes. All right.
Stuff that costs a lot is posh spice.
So Sunny is the last to board the ship. She is late by Sunny standards, but did not actually hold up the launch. She was running over just 10 minutes before actual deadline.
Kinda real close there, Sonny.
You know what? Something just occurred to me, Dex.
What's that?
Something that we might have to cover in a flashback scene or something. They would have transported the soul zombie in the morgue freezer, wouldn't they have?
That is an option as long as Sunny wasn't aware of it, and that would be a scene. It could also have been transported in the brig. The Raza has already established that they don't have any substantially more telekinetic ability than just moving the husk.
The question
when
is,
they get that damaged.
what about the process of rotting there?
No, it doesn't rot.
Oh.
It's alive.
Oh, good. Then the beard chiller might have been safe.
Yeah.
Sonny might still not have found out.
Oh, right. That.
Yep. So yeah, no, that would have most unless you wanted it somewhere else for any reason, drama, Tulair.
Yeah, I mean, Tulair would like that it would have gone into the morgue cooler. Oogie would not have advocated for that.
No, none of the NPCs would have. They remember Gur on the Raza, just kind of had a permanent residence in the brig. And it was
we put that Union scientist across from him.
Yep. It was another unsettling conversation or quip. Anytime you guys brought other prisoners on, like, okay, we're not using that cell because there's this, hey, that's a disembodied something in there.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I guess that scientist is still here, right? So I guess now he's got a second thing to study.
Mm-hmm.
Or, well, on Dry Sun, specifically. Or with the Raza. I guess, I don't know if he actually I guess he stays on the Raza, or I don't know.
The Raza's facilities were good for a ship, but Raza has built proper scientific facilities and labs. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
there's certain concessions you have to make on a ship that you don't need to on a planet.
Exactly.
I assume.
And Crawford has made reference to land-based power plants being orders of magnitude stronger than ships when he talks about anti-ship weapons.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, with Sunny on board, everyone has Sunny has 10 minutes to get to a crash couch. Y'all could have gotten yourselves prepped and ready for takeoff at any point prior to Sunny's arrival.
Or after.
Yeah, or after if you like the sudden lurch and realization that, oh wow, the inertial dampers are going to have a little bit of a fit while dealing with local gravity. I should get into a crash couch.
You get into my sofa. My chair.
Yeah. It's not impossible to go about business on a ship while it's ascending or descending through atmosphere. It's just that the inertial dampers can't be quite as effective, and so there's a lot more strain on the body. And that takes us over to Marcus. So, what was the defect in this chair that was causing it to be sent back and replaced?
I'm saying the electronics a little bit fucky, so like you'll be there laying down, and all of a sudden it'll just like fully decline, and then like just thrown forward a bit, like it goes back to default settings for a split
Oh,
second, before
perfect.
then reverting back to like user settings. So it's
Yep.
relaxing just for however long it lasts for, and then like you've almost thrown out of the chair.
Oh, so it's violent.
And that's why
It's
it's in the
not
back.
gradual.
No, it's like a literal revert back. Okay, and that's why it was in the back, and he was so glad to get rid of it because might have caused a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Throwing kids out of a chair isn't good.
It's not. They are not Raza employees, so there are definitely some liability issues there.
Yeah.
All right,
No, but
perfect. I love it.
yeah, Marcus realizes that one after the fact once he's been getting ready for the takeoff and just gets thrown to the floor almost. It's like great.
All
But
right.
no, yeah.
The your transit to the horizon is uninterrupted. And real quick. I was being glib and dumb earlier when I said that Raza doesn't know what the issues are over in Datel.
It'd be kind of weird to say there's problems here. We don't know what they are.
Yeah, no, I hadn't written that down for myself, so I didn't remember.
Didn't have it to hand.
I didn't have it to hand, and I didn't remember. Yeah, but basically, there's just a higher incidence of pirate attacks going through that area, to the extent that Raza does want to limit activities going that far.
Okay.
It's like
So
there's
to
an
reduce
annoyance
that
right
would
now
be
in that area.
Yeah,
so
it's an annoyance. It's a risk that is reduced to an annoyance by simply not doing business through Kuti Tahirti.
or any business that does it requires extra escort ships kind of deal,
Right, exactly.
which would increase
Exactly.
the
And that's
I think that makes more sense.
that's what all the different colors are supposed to represent. Going this far and farther just requires more.
It's like the inconvenience of having to bribe these people or go this certain route which takes longer and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Well, I don't like it because
We should
just messing with us.
we should yeah, I mean, well, we should see if we can I don't know, we pass through, maybe we have a chat with some pirates. So I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine a patrol boat's a tempting target, but who knows?
I mean, with the perfect
Prob-
target, if you think of it. We are small enough
What
to be harassed, but big enough to potentially have something of worth on us.
I mean, a patrol boat was a 0 cargo space.
Mm, patrol boats are, pretty good for what they transport, which is usually people or VIPs.
Eh,
Also, soldiers.
Yeah, if you want to be inconspicuous, a patrol boat is rather good. Especially a patrol boat that's not in its original location. But yes, I do admit a free merchant would probably be a better target, but then again, I guess we'll see.
I-
Alexi looks
Me-
over from the table that he's sitting at, um, looking at your conversation, and doesn't say anything because Tulare just opened his mouth when I started talking. Go ahead.
It to my mind, patrol boat screams high risk, low reward.
Duh. And You're serving as Union military ships. Sorry, wrong accent. Military ships, not good target. Too much risk. Many pirates still running on free merchant hulls.
Right, and if it was an actual real important VIP, I figured you'd have a couple of more ships anyways. And I don't know.
It depends on how undercover you want to go. Is what I would do.
Alexei points a chili dripping spoon over at Spork. You're on a military ship, sorry. Chili dripping spork over at Marcus. Mine has good sense, though. Good to be cautious. We are just one ship.
Right, we're not exactly put them in their place.
Yeah, true. But I mean, be open to conversation, but threats and things maybe until we are better equipped.
You think they'll ever let us? You think they'll ever let us fly the Raza?
Absolutely not.
That would make things a lot easier.
Alexei shakes his head slowly.
Just think of,
Yeah.
it's kind of like meeting your idol in a way. In which case you find out your idol's just been acting all along, e.g., with weather people flying, rather than the big scary crew of the Raza. So yeah, I don't think it would go quite as well for us.
Yeah. Oh.
Would I love it though? Absolutely. Maybe one day we'll just, like loan it for a day, rent it out.
Yeah, I don't think I saw any rentals opening up anytime soon, but
Hey, look, everything
you can
has a
dream.
price. You just need to go high enough.
He's not wrong.
We just need to find out what that price is and realize how many lifetimes we need to give up to get there. Because so far we've given up one.
Too true.
So,
Oh, well, okay. I guess when you put it that way, I was about to say, what the heck do you mean?
so yeah, I mean, I'm interested just to see what the word on the street is really like. To see if anyone's said anything about where people are going, or if there's any like tips on things. But it's one of them. I'm sure there'll be like, I guess, like a big. These are the people you want to target. Don't fuck with these guys because these guys pay us. That kind of deal.
Mm.
Because pirates aren't usually indiscriminate. They usually know what they're going for and know what to avoid.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be very good pirates, now would they?
Exactly. But it's also one of them. I'm sure we could pay them to maybe target other ships or people. Granted, we outbid the other people. It's just I think of them more like mercenaries, just with less morals, more likely to stab you in the back when the time's opportune.
Where are they based out of there?
Probably some moon or asteroid, somewhere that's a little bit indiscreet.
Oh wait, hold on. Ponce Turner Cloud. Yeah,
Yes.
I assume you can hide in this.
Yeah. Pretty much any of those features. I've
Most of them are.
scaled back how horrible they all are, and now they're just places of interest and also easy to hide in.
Yeah.
Another example of me over mechanicking something. Or
Yeah,
realizing
Oh yeah, I remember you used to have. Yeah, I remember. I think in your
it was awful.
role, she had a whole bunch of stuff, and it's like, but it was all kind of like, how do you actually use this?
Exactly. And even more awful for me as a GM because I've been making this shift towards if there's no explicit rule, I have a lot more freedom to narrate.
Yeah.
And I've come around to Crawford's roll a dozen times when you enter a place, when you try to sneak into a place. I don't like rolling that many times, and I will cut that number of rolls down, but I at least see value in his stating the rule as it is for me to modify without writing 10 pages of garbage.
Wait, roll it doesn't when you sneak into a place.
Yeah, yeah. The traditional sneaking in rules are you roll to try and basically sneak your ship past everyone else, and I had taken a very literal interpretation of it as being like every time you enter a region, you determine if you're detected or not. I've later revised that to realize no, you only need to do that if you're trying not to be detected. In other words, you have turned off your transponder, which otherwise would locate you.
Stand off the big
Sure.
flashy light.
Yeah, yep. Uh, and I've also kind of taken a less literal interpretation of roll against every ship to just mean I'm only gonna roll the NPC ships that matter.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, who cares if they'll?
A trader don't really care as long as you know.
Yep.
He understands. Oh yeah, they probably are coming to me.
Yep. So it
Unless they're a
sometimes
whole busybody and they're like, "Hey, please, do you see that ship over there?"
it sometimes takes me going too far to realize that what was already there is perfectly fine.
Yes. Yeah. No. Well, I think it might be worth just a little bit of, I guess, talking to figure out what the deal is, and maybe not so much talk with the pirates, but about traders and such, because they'll
Hopefully, I mean,
understand
I
what the
guess
situation is.
I suppose we'll see if we bump into anyone when we refuel in there.
Uh huh.
All right, I'm going to move you along here unless anybody has anything pressing that they want to engage in a scene over the next 4 days of metaspace travel.
Marcus is going to be prodding at the chair, but not get anywhere. So he doesn't know what the hell he's looking for. He's going to keep like, how do I reset this thing? But he's not going to get anywhere.
He did not get an instruction manual with it.
Nope.
There is a plastic pocket where an instruction manual would have been stashed. Did not get included.
I mean, well, what? So what did you say it was? It just keeps you going back to the default.
Yeah, so let's say if you're like fully reclined in a chair, all of a sudden it'll fling you forward and go to like the proper sitting position.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just means you don't recline in it.
But he wants to recline.
Yeah. The whole point of this chair is to chill in it, to relax.
Look,
It's a risk
you know,
Marcus is willing to take many a time.
it's your broken back or neck or whatever other injuries you're likely to sustain.
Nah, you see, Marcus is dumb, but smart. He protects himself every time.
Well, there you go.
Why be smart when you can use your abilities? Just get his practice in. He needs to learn his limits.
That works.
But what about this? So I mean, but see, there's the primary, and then there's the secondary. Like the first one is when it starts trying to launch it, and then there's the landing when you've been launched.
No, he's just waiting for the face plant. He's like, all right, now I'm getting flung. I've accepted this now.
You can just get injured in the flinging part too.
Well, I watch him fall asleep in the chair at one point. All right.
Yeah, Marcus realizes he can't sleep in it. He's just trying to like chill in it.
So you are hit with a broadcast first thing upon arriving in Holau. It is just all the various beacons and the fuel stations doing what they're required to do by galactic mandate, and it always does serve as kind of a reinforcement, a small minor reinforcement that Galactic Mandate still has presence and some at least illusion of authority. So I'm going to play that for you. Was anybody unable to hear the music that was just playing?
I did not hear any music.
I hear this.
Do you hear this, Tiller?
Yes. Oh, sorry,
No.
Tiller.
Yeah.
I do
Goes
not.
Check
around.
roll 20. I'll refresh.
Let me refresh roll 20.
Yeah, usually a refresh will do it. And if for whatever reason you don't want to, I have started including the audio file in the Discord, so it's not
All
as
right,
essential.
I refreshed roll 20. Could you play your sample for me, please?
I sure will. Let me another one up there.
No, nothing.
Huh.
Check and see if you got the tab muted.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for now. I heard everything last week. Okay, tab unmuted. Just muted and then unmuted it. Master volume level in for audio. Yeah, well, that's audio, video, chat.
I now have 3 different tracks playing.
Oh no. It's an active scene, driving action and driving tension.
I can see the tracks playing. I cannot hear them.
Oh.
Hold on a second.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Well, that I can hear.
We'll just echo it to you.
I'm gonna go ahead and play it. If you want to hear it, go ahead and click it in the Discord.
Okay.
And if you don't.
The height of tourism season on the fresh waters of Ka are typically awash with the scents of fried fish, the crackle and sparkle of fireworks against a deep, dark sky, and the swaying of shallow barges under the stomp of native song and dance. But this year, the extranet throughout Loikau Echna is abuzz with whispers of ancient aliens, hidden ruins, and the deepest mystery: are there more? Fearing the consequences of a surge in tourist diving, not only for the planet and its inhabitants, but also for the inexperienced divers unfamiliar with Ka's many dangers, the League of Autonomous Worlds has attempted to control and restrict this influx, with shogunate military ships in orbit to present force if necessary. Reporting from Loikau Echna for ABN News, this is Sophia.
I did hear that, but what does that have to do with the location that we're in?
It doesn't. It just
It's just nice.
yeah. I have a spreadsheet that tells me when news arrives from certain places to certain places.
Oh, okay, all right.
Another example of me over-engineering something.
That's just a fun thing. The sector is alive with the sound of news.
I
Yeah,
mean, just wait until we hear news of the stuff we do. I'm like, huh?
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's us.
This report actually was first broadcast. The event happened almost a whole month ago. The news of it is just now reached Holau. In fact, the number of days that it's been in Holau, according to my spreadsheet, is 0. It's just arriving this day.
It makes parsing your news system all that much more difficult.
Yes, it does.
Totally realistic. I'm just like, how are we supposed to contextualize and make use of this information?
You don't necessarily. Sometimes it is on your way.
It's a little bit of a
Maybe.
shame that Lulu isn't here for this. I'll have to ping him later because he was adamant that there had to be something going on with Ka over there. Ocean
The one
world with jutting, like cities jutting out of the water.
Well, not to mention the description that says Planet Fall on Ka offers a traveler or trader little value. Yeah, right.
Yep. So I'll bring this to his attention later on. Yeah, no, it doesn't have anything of value to you here. It really is just a little bit of world building.
Fair
Uh,
enough. Okay.
and it can. You might see it come up as a mission later, or as a mission option later to go and find out what's going on over there.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, that was the part I was trying to figure out because between the missions and the news bursts, I was trying to like in my mind figure out relationships and tie things together, and
Mm-hmm.
it was too
It's
much
not.
information for me to sort through at once.
My apologies.
Well, knowing that we're not exactly expected to sort through it, that it's just flavor helps.
Yeah, yeah.
It's flavor that could become relevant.
In a
But
more
if it becomes relevant, it will become a mission.
yeah.
Yes.
In a more sandboxy gameplay framework, framework. Um, it kind of, I mean, it becomes more relevant there, and I try to space out the resolution of any of these events because they will resolve themselves, um, so that players can actually potentially get involved before it times out, before it resolves. Um, but I mean, I know that the travel time of information throughout the sector makes that really difficult.
Well, and along similar lines, just as a for instance, would have
Uh-huh.
indicated something in this region aside from our primary mission that we might get involved with. I have not integrated that possibility.
I missed the first half of what you said there.
Like, let's suppose that there were a news burst from a week or two ago, a session or two ago.
That was,
Rel-
say, Demos.
yeah, related to one of the worlds in this corner of the map.
Gotcha.
So that, like maybe we had an incentive or a reason to choose a different course so that we could go and investigate those events. I have not integrated that knowledge.
Well, as an example, you did it unwittingly, because you guys wouldn't have known in advance that the shogunate was there on in unless that was a random event that I rolled and created a news broadcast for.
Yep. Usually that
Okay.
doesn't happen because it is somewhat randomized and it's
Mhm.
kind of a large sector.
Yeah.
But it could happen. And I
Okay.
guess that's it's up to us if we want to try to interact. I mean, I'm sure Dex is pretty wide open on that. Even though we're not really doing a sandbox campaign, I feel like if something was like in our path like that we already set on, we could interact with it.
Especially when you're on long missions, because I mean, you've got 8 sessions. It's not entirely likely that I will have just straight up content to fill 8 full sessions, given the context and scope of most of them. Like, none of them are go take over this planet. Most of them are and will continue to be go do this thing in this one building. It's
I mean, really, the time frame on the Nox mission doesn't. I mean, like what we're doing is not really much beyond what we were doing in the last mission. Because we're basically land on this place, get this information, and then come back.
yeah.
I mean, this information could be finding a ship and piling it off the surface to bring it back with us.
Yep.
Well, it was a shipyard.
And the whole idea is to get schematics of a ship. And what better schematic is there than here's an intact sample?
Well, no, I think the actual how to make it's kind of more important in this case. But
yeah, I am gonna assert.
Allegedly.
I mean, we can't really recreate the Raza. I don't think we don't exactly have the blueprints to make the Raza.
Yeah, but that's because the Raza is TL5.
No, and I'm also going to assert in there that the all of the shipyards that have their own particular specialties, reverse engineering can only go so far. They'll be missing some of the production, the parts production schematics and what went into
Fair
that.
enough.
Yeah.
Actually, the Raza is actually Poztec technically, right? Because it was made after the Scream, right? Or am I mistaken? Because it was like, well, we don't know. I guess we don't know exactly the
No,
entire.
I've fairly regularly described it as actual pre-tech.
Okay, yeah. Well, and obviously there's a lot of pre-tech that goes into it.
Yeah.
But whether it was like pre-tech that was cobbled together after. But
No, it's been a long
yeah,
time since
it's
I've
probably
looked over those notes and any kind of time frame, but I'm pretty sure it was the entire whole was of pre-tech make. Now, I know that
gotcha.
I dithered on that a little bit by saying, like, you don't have pre-tech walkways. They're just some kind of alloy or metal that's magnetic,
Yeah.
or ferromagnetic.
Well,
But
at best, or at the very least, it's pre-tech that's been kind of restored too.
yes, that's it.
So maybe not all the pre-tech stuff was able to be restored because, wow, that was a really frivolous use of fancy technology by our standards. So let's just put actual walkways in here instead.
Right. All right. So you've spent 6 days getting to Hulao, and the refueling at Hulao is technically there's no actual fueling station. There is a beacon that delivers the news and rudders, but there's no fueling station. It's done at the mercenary swarm. Um,
Let's just siphon a bit off of someone else's ship. It'll be fine.
I mean, that's ultimately that is what happens. As long as you're on good terms with the mercenary swarm, then they share their fuel with you.
Let's see. Where's there
And Raza is on good terms with this area. In fact, the
And
Raza is on good terms.
I was
fuel
gonna say,
scoops work off of stars, don't they? Or they can.
You were both speaking at the same time. What was that, Meowkin?
Oh, I was just saying. I was like I'm trying to think. Like fuel scoops work off of like stars or gas giants, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So presumably they have some people that are just like scooping fuel off.
yeah,
Like that.
and it doesn't really cost them anything, just a little bit of time, and so they charge a
they're here.
nominal fee for it. Tulare?
I was going to say, and one assumes that Shrewd Merchant level 2
Oh yeah.
does the job here.
Absolutely, yes. In fact, well, if you want it broadcast that Oogie is on this ship, then we can include that in your transponder. Otherwise, we'll just take it as it comes out.
I mean, I assumed that it was always just roleplay. That
Yeah.
if we wanted to roleplay a scene, we could.
Works for me.
Where Oogie's presence, he's able to negotiate getting a free fill up.
Yeah, no, I had started narrating something a little bit too grand in scope. I was starting to say, oh yeah, because of that, you're actually welcomed in. But I realized quickly that no, Oogie is known, but he's not on like the ship that he used to be whenever he was doing errands for his master. Do you think he ever did get off Kamiego?
I don't think that he did.
Okay.
It's just that he's got those old trading chops that he's able to schmooze people out of a tank of fuel.
And it's also entirely possible that there are people who recognize and will remember him from when they were at Kamiego doing business with his master.
Mm-hmm. Not that he remembers their names, but
That's
he's gotten quite good at. Oh yeah, back then, them good old days.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah. I don't know if people think, deal with a warlord on Kamiego. I mean, what was your master? Was like a warlord, right? Kind of thing, like a warlord.
You know what? I don't think it's ever
Or-
really become clear who he was. He was a rich person on Kamiego.
Yeah, that's what I said. Local warlord.
Presumably.
He would either be a local warlord or someone who did not live ostentatiously, who was basically living smarter and hiding his wealth.
Oh, you know what? That actually makes a really great turn of events then,
Hmm.
if you're willing to let me declare that.
Yeah, let's hear it.
He would have been one to live shrewdly and not ostentatiously, hiding his wealth, and that was part of the problem that Oogie had with his son.
Ooh.
Is that his son wanted to throw the money around more ostentatiously, putting the
Okay.
family at risk.
Yeah, maybe even precipitated, depending on the timing of events, by the Raza's propaganda the first time they visited Camiego and basically ousted the landlord of Dry Sun at that time. You know,
Okay.
here's this group that's making a publicly broadcasted display of force under this guise of, you know, whether you believe it or not, this guise of betterment of humanity through civilization. And the Sun either wanted to proceed in that direction or wanted to be more warlord to fight that.
Oh yeah, the son would definitely be more warlord.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure because slavery was kind of a thing, right?
Oh, slavery is entirely a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Raza was like, no.
Yep. The Raza freed all the slaves on Dry Sun.
Well, at least in the local area. Dry Sun, yeah.
In
That's what you
Dry
said.
Sun, yeah, in your city. Yeah. Okay. And I was about to say, I hope you're writing this down, Tulare, but I know you're taking notes. So yeah,
I respect.
you have no problem with the mercenary swarm. In fact, Oogie's uh, Oogie's manner, if not actually being recognized, is still making it easier for Marcus to make any kind of investigation that he's wanting to do, or any of you to do any kind of investigation. Um, in any of your social interactions with the swarm, unless you piss them off, or now you've got a +1 bonus.
I'm completely broke, but Archibald's got just a window shopping if they have any fancy guns for sale. I don't have that many money to buy them, but I can just be a background thing that Archibald's doing. I don't need to
Okay.
go into it because, like I said, I don't have any money to buy anything anyways.
All right. Ben, what did you want to be investigating here?
I want to know if there's like word of like people heading to a certain area or asking about certain rutters, basically.
Yeah, actually, the swarm, the extranet, or the that's proliferated through the swarm, is a buzz with opportunity at on Anti, and all of the conversation and discussion that you would expect from a social networking, unmoderated social networking kind of BBS or forum boards, um, with how dangerous Anti is and how disrespectful it is to the Nox. You know, their people are there are still survivors from Anti and from the Nox on a scav fleet. They're actually being called a scav fleet that is currently making its way through the sector, and that any kind of recognized action could upset them. And there's all the hyperbole of everything on this. Did Marcus want to try and sift through any of that, either on the extranet or with any friendly contacts?
Um, it's not the kind to sift through the intranet, so I guess it just carry on I'll say poking around.
Okay.
Just more kind of. Yeah, I guess just like verifying what he's heard.
Okay. And when you say kind of poking around, is he just looking online, or is he talking to people?
Now at this point, it'll be talking to people.
Okay.
It's like you read it online, but it's not always the truth. So he's wanting to figure out if it is actually the truth.
All right. Um. Yeah. So, how would he go about doing that?
I think. I don't know actually.
Yeah, that was a question to you as much as it was to me.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. And like, how would that be accomplished?
Because I don't want to go so far as to say that there's like just automatically um, open Discord like channels for people that talk, but yeah, I'm trying to keep the extranet stuff a little bit low tech because it is just some kind of forum software that happens to be accepted by ships and run as a network across the ships. It's not official, really. Um, Holo or not Holo, Tohoia, Tohoio, that planet down there, um, is not technological at all, um, and so they don't have any kind of anything that supports the extranet. So it's all just kind of a buzz through the swarm. It's just text based, and any kind of interactions. Oh, the hot dog place is here. I can't remember what we named it, but
Pass on that one.
oh, that was in. Dang it, that was in Zenthro. That was not here.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. He can't really do the investigation in person himself.
He would need to reach out to some ships that he knows. He could strike up conversation with whoever is in attendance while fueling your ship up. They're friendly already. They're not even charging you for the service.
I'd like to step in if I may.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
So yeah, Oogie, after discussing these events with Marcus, would approach the mercenaries or whomever. Say, news on the street is that some of the survivors of Anti have taken up with a scavenger fleet that's traveling around the sector. Where do you reckon they're planning on stopping in the near future?
Okay. Well, the attendant, well, the crew member of that ship that you're talking to. Thanks for a moment. Oh no, oh, I don't know. I might have at one time thought Muron for all the asteroids out there, unclaimed by any company or government. But I've heard rumor that Union is settling in there. Don't
Sorry, I'm looking through here. You got a number for me?
0507. It's in the middle, near the bottom.
But wait a minute. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Isn't Union this alliance up north with us?
It is, yeah. Union is based on Aslid, but Union is effectively a mining corporation. Well, a mining and paramilitary corporation.
Okay, all right.
And Muron is it's the largest asteroid field among all the systems in the sector.
So it's like
Okay.
prime real estate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oogie whistles. That's a mite far from home for Union, but I can understand the allure. That's a juicy target down there. Shame for the scavenger fleet, though. I reckon they'll have to find a new home. Right, at least a new place to operate.
Yeah, it's been a troubling time for those scavengers, for those shipbuilders. Fantastic people.
Well, if you think that they were down by way of Muran, I suppose maybe on our way back we'll swing down there and see if we can figure out where they're headed.
You do that and bring news back to the swarm. It's always good to know who is operating where.
That's all Oogie really wanted to know.
All right.
Making note of that.
Did Marcus want to jump in there with his questions? Oogie has opened the door for conversation.
No, actually.
All right. Well, the basic information that you get from passing through Holau is that opinions, hyperbolic as they are split on anti. It's almost definite that you're going to encounter multiple scav and mercenary teams out there, but it's not as interesting for mercenaries who aren't skilled scavengers. So there's kind of a skill barrier to entry.
Yeah, you're gonna need to be running with the top dogs in order to do out.
Yeah, there's some thought that that there might be native wildlife on Anti that makes things difficult, or competing mercenary teams. But if it's just scavengers and there are no local threats, which isn't really known much about ever since the irradiationing, um, then yeah, it's literally just taking apart a spaceship or a shipyard that happens to be on the ground and getting the best parts from it. Not much for people who are good with guns to do.
Yeah, you're gonna need a souped up ship.
A couple of additional pieces of information that you guys either already had or have learned here is that the atmosphere of Anti is considered corrosive. Ships should not stay in atmosphere for very long. And it's also irradiated to the point that vac suits are not complete protection. It's not strong radiation. It's strong enough to get through vac suits, but not strong enough to like kill you in a day. And that's just from casually peering through the extranet in the mercenaries form. Even if none of your characters take the time to parse through, Elena has asked Fairbanks to try and parse through and scour what information they can.
I mean, Marcus will be curious about that just to see if his pressure field would be sufficient or not. But I don't think it is due to the radiation.
Nope. It is. Yeah, he's confident that if the radiation still poses danger to a normal person, normal human wearing a vac suit, then it'll punch through his pressure suit too.
Yeah,
But
filters
what about
particles, but not radiation.
Hang on, real quick. What about what, Ben?
It filters particles and
Mhm.
shit, but I don't think radiation is affected by that. That's all the
No.
gammas.
I would say that it's going to be as effective as if you were wearing a vac suit for radiation purposes also.
Yeah.
So you'll be under the same radiation rules as everyone else while you're wearing that.
Yours, no problemo.
Meowkin?
Oh, I was just like, what? I mean, can you not just double up?
I hadn't thought about that.
Like with protection, doesn't mean it's any more effective.
Yeah, I think the radiation is still, for mechanical and fiction purposes, the radiation is still going to punch through. It'll be better for Marcus to double up, like in the narrative. He'll
Yeah.
be less effective, but I'm going to keep the mechanics the same because it's close enough.
I should just realize that. Hey, maybe I should read the rules on radiation now.
Yeah, radiation's
I'll
Who
give you a
has a
pretty nasty
specially low
thing.
constitution?
I'll give you a primer when you guys reach the system. I'll also tell you what exactly the time scale will be for anti.
Yeah, that's gonna be the main
Maybe
thing.
once we get there, we can use our sensor array to figure out really what we're going to be dealing with.
Exactly.
I don't have especially high constitution.
All right. So that was 6 days.
Before we depart this sector,
Mhm.
and it may not be something that we can get here. I'm just looking through equipment to see, is it possible? Are there just like hazard suits?
Typically, hazard suits and vac suits can't be worn together. So, yeah, it absolutely makes sense that hazard suits could be built, custom built for specific purposes. Hey, let me figure out my answer here.
Well, let me riff on that before you go on, because that's exactly what I had in mind.
Gotcha.
That we could take that if we get some spare parts and know that we're going to have access to a workshop, and that's going to be the hard part, is finding somewhere where we can get access to a workshop.
You have one on your ship.
Yeah, we have a
Do
ship
we?
one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
fuck,
a
yeah.
condition from Amaya. Well, from
Okay.
But you always
Knox
get a
as
work
player,
ship
but-
on a ship. It just makes life a whole lot easier.
Oh
for
my
players.
goodness, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a workshop that if we do scans from orbit and we have some spare parts, that we could modify vac suits, or not vac suits, hazard suits for the specific environment.
I
While
would go with
discussing
your
this, Marcus.
Hey,
speaks up,
hang
like-
on, Ben. I would go with your first comparison there to modify vac suits for the specific purpose, because the vac suit is what you're going to need to, survive all the other stuff to breathe also. And so modifying the vac suit for that specific purpose seems logical to me. We'll let you try and do some rolls and see if your engineer that you have brought Lily Grace around, and Maya is also good with fix. Basically, see if your fixie folks can figure something out that's also able to be produced on a time scale that you want. I think time is going to be the most difficult factor for you.
Yeah, if we can
Also,
increase the
while
time scale,
discussing
the
this-
more we can increase the time scale. Like it seems like it's something that we can definitely work with. Looking at the rules, which I guess we'll cover later. But
All right.
if it's not too aggressive, we can definitely work with it.
Hang on,
With
there,
that
Miracle.
in mind,
Hang on real quick. Ben has been trying to say something.
Basically, Marcus wants to buy a radiation suit for himself, and then he can just use the slit field around everyone, and therefore they'll get both benefits. The pressure field.
Okay. Hang on to that. Let me hear what Tulera's gonna say.
okay. I mean, as a failsafe against Ben's solution, which actually sounds like a much better one, Oogie is at this time, while we're stopped refueling here in a friendly place, going to pick up whatever you tell me is adequate spare parts to make these modifications.
Hmm.
I think it would be better to have a proper suit, but we've got a backup solution just in case it fails, or at least a mitigation factor.
I'm gonna have you. I'm gonna suggest that you wait until you can actually get scans of the planet so that you know exactly what you're trying to defeat. Um, I know it's not perfect physics, but due to metaspace, different radiation has different protections, um, and you can't just use the same protection for radiation from anti as you can from any other source. So you'll need
Also, if we know what we're scanning, we know how long our radiation suits will be good for, basically.
yes, you'll get that information, and you'll then be able to formulate specific protections. Um, and so spare parts are good for just general purpose building things. Um, but it'll cost you more in spare parts than it would if you do the scans and go to, say, Thurid to get specific parts.
Hold on, let me look at the map here.
Thurid,
there is another planet in system.
yeah.
Okay, so it's not like we're gonna get out there, we're gonna do our scans, want to make modifications, and then you'll say, "Oh, well, did you bring spare parts?" And we'll say, "Oh, no, we'll have to go back to it. We're gonna have to spend another 12 days in metaspace."
No, Antia is very fortunately situated in a. I mean, the other planet is the base of Mercury Core, so they're well developed.
Okay, all right. So we have options for acquiring the stuff that we'll need to make a landing. That's all I wanted to make sure is that we weren't going to be stranded without equipment.
Yeah, no.
All right. I have to step away again for a moment.
Okay,
I'll
and
be back shortly.
then I will give consideration to the separate but specific protection idea of the pressure field and the anti-rad suit.
And that's what Max is going to work with, is try and get a really good rad suit, and then he'll just maintain his pressure field.
Okay.
Because it's
Just remember-
a force skin.
We
So,
just need to-
yeah,
We just need to pack a lot of Radex and Rad away.
exactly. All the drugs.
All right.
Just imagine the hallucinations.
So it sounds like we are on our way to Deimos. I don't imagine you are going to stop at Danasa for any reason.
Not
Sounds
that
like we
I can
got
think
most.
of.
Sounds like we got most of what we were looking for off of Halavo, right?
Yeah, Deimos is usually
Right.
just a quick way station to Kuzi Tahirti anyways. And traveling to making your drill to Detel. So it was another 6 days to Deimos. And then
We're 4 days in metaspace, right? If we're doing the little trim the course thing.
right.
Okay.
I'm just gonna play Metaspace music since we're moving so fast. It doesn't make sense to put specific system music up. And then to Detel, it only takes you 2 days to travel there in Metaspace, and then of course the 2 days of flying to a fueling station and back to the horizon.
Can't they just put the dang refueling station on the horizon? Jeez.
No, there's logistical risks with that.
Yeah, sure.
And to be perfectly fair, it would be on the Kurituhurti arrival side if they were to.
Well, we're halfway between them, which would be the 2 days. mean, traffic's both ways.
Oh yeah, but the people leaving Kutitahirti.
Would be the Mercury Core folks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Mercury Core, they need to come back home too.
Nah.
Send the people out on one-way trips. Yeah, I guess they forced Nemesis out on a one-way trip.
Alright. Elena does have the marmoset go transponder off to arrive in Daytel. Just kind of couching yourselves, being cautious of the risk of that piracy. You get a stern warning from the station, the refueling station, that approaching any kind of station, even a refueling station with transponder off, may be interpreted as an act of aggression, yada yada yada. It is a station with no weapons and no real authority, and it's an automated message anyways. So,
but it's gonna make it sound threatening anyways.
It absolutely does. It barks at you.
Its bark is worse than its bite.
But it does let you fuel up. There is perhaps a risk that it might not have if you did not have Shrewd Merchant 2 on board. But that smooths away any transgressions, and you are...
I know how to deal with this kind of automated system. They're just posturing.
Yep. In fact, I think that's actually a good in-lore requirement or setup. You approach a fuel station and they basically place a 24-hour wait on services, unless you got Shrewd Merchant too. So yeah.
Can you sit here for 24 hours without blowing up or robbing the automated station?
Yeah. Because connecting to refuel and resupply exposes the station to even more risk than that ship just sitting there. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna hold to that.
We're sure we hacked one time. That was fun.
You did.
Back in the day.
We happen to arrive in the middle of our night cycle. Oogie gets out of bed, puts on his cowboy boots. So he's just wearing underwear and cowboy boots.
No!
strolls down to the to the helm or to the bridge, enters the credentials, goes back to his bedroom.
I'm gonna put us on the the
ship combat page.
Yep, so that I know where people are.
I was just kidding.
Tulare wasn't kidding. I don't think.
No, I was definitely not kidding. That's how it happened.
The Oothly. Let's.
Oh yeah.
Where was Boothly? I forget. That was. So the planet? Now it's the planet. Yeah.
It was, yeah.
That was. Yeah.
Let's see, I've already got Elena and Lily Grace on there. I should have set these up in advance.
And no soul zombie in the brig.
And no soul zombie in the brig. Alright. There's all our people. Who do I need to delete? See, I've got a duplicate Ava. I've got a duplicate Saul. And a duplicate Sunny. I'm going to delete the ones that did not have the extra stuff on them. Oh, and I can delete Marcus because he's now got a Pog. You can put yourself on the map when you're
Poggers.
There's a few people that are just that are actually doing the work. Gonna have Fairbanks and there.
Yeah, who is the night shift on the bridge? Because we know that Elena is very hands-on, but she does have to sleep sometime, and we're not exactly in a hostile situation where she would be doing like the 48-hour thing. So who does relieve Elena at night?
It's I don't know the exact shifts, but there are shifts. I would say that Eva Maria is doing the piloting. Yep, there we go. So you've got Natario and Elena on bridge when Oogie walks in cowboy boots
Half asleep.
and boxers. Did you say?
Yeah.
Did he even put on a shirt
No.
and hat? New
I mean,
hat.
I'm half tempted to just post a picture of the naked cowboy.
uh, as long
Dude
as
who
it's
plays
not
guitar in Times
NSFW.
Square. Oh yeah, it's safe. I don't know if it's safe for, every workplace. There we go. Discussion channel. The naked cowboy. This is not Oogie.
I
Also,
don't
big picture.
I don't see it. Oh, it's still loading.
It's a big picture.
Okay. I feel like I should change the music to driving tension. Oh gosh.
Yeah, this is just a dude in New York who in that costume busks in Times Square.
Okay. Is Oogie a briefs or boxers?
He's a boxers guy.
Okay. These are important details for future development.
Yeah, when I say that he walks down to the bridge in his underwear, I have to be specific.
uh, well, one moment, please. Let's. Oh no!
This is fine.
So.
Wait, 2 enemies this day.
As Oogie is conducting this negotiation, and I say negotiation loosely because it is more a matter of simply citing various loopholes and codes at the automated response. Than actually trying to present any kind of offer or deal. Elena and Natario share a look, and Natario, after that look, turns forward in her chair, and Oogie can almost see her sink back further into it. And Elena's face tightens.
Minoogi's paying attention to the console. Do they say anything to him?
They do not.
Elena
So
and Natario did not like that.
Oogie didn't even acknowledge him on his way in. He was still half asleep, but after he gets done, he kind of looks up from what he was doing, sees that there's two embarrassed and or annoyed looking women on the bridge as he's standing there in his underwear. He tips his hat because he always wears his hat when he's got a hat. He tips his hat and says, "Have a great evening, ladies. I'm headed back to bed." And he just kind of saunters out.
There is a terse dismissed from Elena.
"Thank you kindly, Captain."
Oh, I was not expecting those both to go negative. and they're not
Fine.
even.
It's fine.
They're not even close to where I could say, yeah, the +1 for being friends and crewmates tips it over. No, that's beyond. Ah, that won't come back in a scene later at all.
I hope so.
One moment while the GM makes a quick note here.
They will remember this.
Oh, spectacular.
Why else did the GM makes notes?
Hey.
What did I miss? I'm really sorry.
Hey,
Hey there, Knox. Why don't we take our 15-minute break here and we'll catch you up.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead and come on back, folks, at about 1:20 or whatever that translates to in your time.
Blaze it.
All right, putting this back in frame. And after having been fueled up and your transgression for approaching the fuel station without your transponder active, or I mean, even if you activated it as you were approaching, it still recognizes that, hey, there's suddenly a ship like 20,000 kilometers away. Ships don't just appear 20,000 kilometers away, so they must have been transponder off. So it still barked at you. Oogie and his cowboy hat and boxers, uh, cleared out the mandatory weight, and fueling up only took 20 minutes with your skilled crew. Um, you were on your way. There was no resupply of inventory here. This was just fuel and life support, but that's fine, because Ivan still has plenty of mustard seed and 3 other varieties and forms of mustard and horseradish.
I'm starting to think we maybe should have taken a stop at Danessa or whatever. Danessa.
It's okay. You are just 6 days away. Well, 8 days if you go to Anti first from Thurid, where you'll be able to find every variety of spice, sugars that are sweeter than the sweetest sugar possible, sugar that is sweeter than itself, impossibly.
All sorts of biological wonders, I'm sure.
I mean,
Oh.
you've heard of inverse sugar, but have you heard of recursive sugar?
Sugarception.
Just an infinite feedback loop of sweet.
It's actually just a drug that they're selling as sugar.
Yeah,
It is.
sugar.
It is to sugar what sugar is to salt.
Yes. The pleasures that you will find on Thurid if you so visit. Just remember to lock up Marcus.
We don't have time, Marcus. Well, I mean, I guess we do.
Mom,
So many drugs.
Mom, just a quick pit stop, please.
And they're not illegal. You can just buy them at the corner
Mom.
store.
No, Marcus, we have drugs at home.
Uh, as you enter metaspace from, was it from Demos? Yeah, from Detail.
Detail.
A message comes across everyone's compounds. I haven't typed it out, but it is essentially an order that all crew activities outside of the barracks require full uniform.
You mean aboard our ship?
Yep. If you basically there's a unstated punishment or penalty for this, but it is now a rule that if you're outside the barracks, you must be fully dressed in Raza, well, not Raza uniform, but
Like I said, did I get our uniform?
nope, there's no uniform yet. There is a byline on this that recommendation will be made to Raza that a uniform be designed and adopted for all Raza operations upon return.
Archibald's just gonna scratch his head. I was like, what is that about?
Oogie reads it in the mess hall, and he gasps, and then reaches for his hat, and he says, "I'll never lose you again."
Is it being threatened? Are they gonna take your hat away? Is that gonna be the punishment?
Yeah, I was going to say, the hat is kind of like a staple. Surely it can't take that away.
Is that even legal?
I know. It's like you. It's like an extension of you.
Oh, maybe I can get a cybernetic hat. That would be an extension of me.
Push for the hat to be part of the official dress code.
I mean, a hat is a practical accessory.
It's an accessory, all right.
Well, it's practical on Kamiego at least.
Damn right. In any case, during the transition, during the metaspace transition, there is a scene that I would like to have. The conversation with Lily Grace.
Okay. Then let's go ahead and do that. In fact, is it a conversation that you would have here in the mess after having read this, or is it need a specific?
Not immediately following. No.
Okay. All right. You can find Lily Grace in your workshop. I've put that over here in engineering. Put her over there in engineering, but she is usually tinkering around with things in the workshop.
So Oogie walks in, customary data slab in hand, as he often is. Kind of raps on the cubicle wall to get Lily Grace's attention.
You hear from the other side there. Are you wearing your uniform?
Why? I mean,
no.
we was ordered to, so I sure am.
Aw,
Words already spreading.
fine, come in. There was ever so slight disappointment there.
Oogie pokes his head around the corner. How did you know it was me?
She glances over, brushes that slightly curly red hair out of her way. Anyone else wear a cowboy hat and boots on this ship?
Oh, he kind of takes a couple of steps and hears the way that his heels thunk against the metal floor. Well, I reckon not. I ain't never thought of that.
What business have you walking naked into the bridge?
Why? Now, it was the middle of the night, and they got me out of bed, so I figured I would just walk down there, do what needed to be done, and then head back to the bunk. It was efficient.
Well, you know, everyone walk into my workshop flippy flopping around. Go right ahead.
Oogie actually blushes at the invitation. That was not what I was expecting, ma'am.
She shoves some bit of mechanical stuff that she's working on into a drawer and just turns, looks at him. Aye, then what is it?
Well, Oogie's flustered.
She's grinning.
I was reading dossiers on the crew, and you see, I noticed that you're from about the parts where we're headed.
I can walk around naked all you like there.
Oogie is quickly finding himself not immune exactly, but the shock is wearing off. Now, it so happens, I just thought it might be considerate, and at this he winks, trying to throw a little bit back at Lily Grace, to see how you might feel about heading back there. You know, what with all the ruckus that went down.
Hmm. This does wipe the grin off a little bit. Not necessarily in a bad way, but just more in a she's pondering that. Um, I appreciate the thought. Uh, I left because I came so close to being on that thing that we're investigating. Just one day. That was scary. Um, but it's past now, and I don't think I have any post trauma just for Thurid.
Yeah, I don't know too much about the local geography. Uh, Two habitable planets, that weren't too common now, were it?
Nah, wasn't. Not much sense in building cities and sewers and everything else the planet's got to have for people. Two different locations. One's gonna rule the other anyways, right?
That's what the history books tell us happen most often. Yeah. So in any case, you were mostly planet side then.
Aye.
What do you know about this station we're investigating?
Uh, and I'm gonna go out of character a little bit because she is going to tell Oogie basically that it was a large station. The central control hub um, would have been a small space station in its own right. But attached to that, the Nox was 7 arms that extended out from that central control hub, and each of those arms was a kilometer in length. Um, the arms themselves were chock full of the residents, people that lived there, cramped into these tiny tenements. There was a specific word for them that I can't remember, but just the most cramped, tiny spaces, and all of this pushed against the walls, while there's a very wide walkway in between. So like 10 meters of walkway separating 10 meters of residents on the left and 10 meters of residents on the right until they get to the wall. So a whole 10 meters of space going down each of these arms used only for the movement of cargo and machinery and goods. She is harping on about this because it seemed like such an absolute waste, the living conditions of these people. They could have not lived seven or not slept 7 people to a tiny room, shoulder to shoulder, or sometimes even sleeping up on not on top of each other, but literally right spooning each other. If they had just used some of that middle lane for people instead of moving ship parts. She holds a fairly disdainful attitude towards how the the people on the Nox were forced to live. Um, but that's why she thought she could perhaps improve their lot with some hydroponics technology that she was engineering on Thurid. So Oogie gets an earful.
And Oogie, he listens thoughtfully to all of this, and he kind of every once in a while, he's attentive. He is attentive to these concerns, and when she's done with her diatribe about the Nox,
Great word.
he remarks, you know, at least up there in space, you know, you ain't got a lot of room to spread out. I can understand why they would make folks live like that, if only because it was cheaper. He shrugs and then says, back on Camiego, well, I know there's bunkhouses that ain't much better, and it's not like Camiego's hurting for space. They done it just to make the people feel low.
These are their own people, though. Their own livelihood. These are the people building all the ships.
Oogie shakes his head and he goes, no, rich folks like that, them people are just corporate assets. Machines made of meat.
It's a damn shame. Until that visit, I'd had this opinion of the Nox as fantastic survivors and how brave they were living up there and continuing to build ships for the entire sector. But then I go and learn that they're just rats pulling up pulleys.
Well, I tell you what, Lily Grace, you made me feel a little bit better about us going down there and just stealing what we can. It's not like it was being put to good use by people who deserved it.
I suppose I can bullshit a silver lining out of that.
We'll see if we can do some good with it. Anyways, just wanted to stop by and chat. And then he winks again. Maybe I'd take you up on your offer sometime later.
She grins and she turns a tiny shade red at the turnaround. Aye, but I have to be in the barracks now, won't it? And then
He looks around the engineering cubicle, says, I don't know, not if that door locks.
she turns a little bit redder and turns back to her work.
This time, Oogie, grinning, departs.
Yes, indeed. Alright. We'll say that that was just a couple days into your transit. Let me have everyone roll a wisdom notice check.
Everyone.
Everyone. Everyone! Oh, wow. Alexi.
The real question is this a bounty hunter situation?
It is not.
Well then.
Give me one moment here. Where did I put that? Not there. Let's see. There we go.
A lot of 8s.
That is a lot of 8s.
Petition to lower the DC by 1.
That would not actually help you.
Yeah, I would put a DC at 9 anyways.
The book.
Does it have DC 9s?
Nope, the book is actually
Yep,
on
it
even
has-
numbers.
Yeah, it's all even numbers. 6,
When
8,
I
10,
checked, the
12.
book was on 7 numbers. It was on odd numbers. I remembered 7, 9, and 11.
Oh, I don't know where that's from.
There's a few different places. In specific parts of the book, there are 7s and 9s, like base difficulty for a spike drill is 7. I think a lot of the ship combat actions start at 9.
Mm,
But in the skill section, there's a chart of difficulties with descriptions of like this is a difficulty that a person of such
skill
skill
that.
should not have difficulty with. Hang on, it words a lot better.
Yeah, I had it. Let me say, like 6 is a relatively simple check that is
Yeah.
still more than a PC would usually be expected to manage in their regular background.
Mhm.
8 is a significant challenge to a competent professional that they'd still succeed at more often than not. And then 10,
Yes.
something too difficult to expect of anyone but a skilled expert, and even they might fail. And
Yeah.
then 12 and 14, but
So
of
the
course.
book doesn't say that your difficulty should be on the even numbers, but it does give some guidelines for them. Sorry, that was an entirely unnecessary tangent. I only find it interesting because I know that there are several GMs that I've played under who do kind of go with a default, like 7 is the default difficulty, and then go up and down by 2 points from there. Well, not down, but up 2 points from there.
I could see it.
Yeah,
So you're saying it might have worked.
it might have worked.
On another DM.
But this check was something too difficult to expect it of anyone but a skilled expert, and even they might fail.
Like me.
Anyone that
Oh, I guess I'm
wants
not truly
to,
expert yet, but
yeah, any experts that do want to re-roll this can. It's if you can give me justification for why they're being extra attentive. Barring that, actually, I don't know if we have any full experts right now.
Yeah, nope. I think if we have
It'll
one,
be
it
Connor.
was
Yeah, I think Connor's your only full expert. Okay.
yeah.
So, I'm gonna roll randomly for who's present when this occurs. Who have I got? I've got 4 players with me right now, right? I'm not gonna roll for the NPCs because that's a boring result. I'm just gonna roll straight down the line using the Discord. 3. Marcus.
Yours.
So, Marcus is. Tell me what Marcus is doing in some context where he is either in a hallway or has line of sight into one of the hallways in this fairly small patrol boat. Well, patrol boat size, but patrol boat.
I think he'll just be like on his way to the workshop because he's finally given in and he wants to ask for help.
Perfect! Perfect. After he has finally conceded defeat to the chair and is
he
on.
rolling the chair along.
Is he?
Say that again.
Is he rolling the
chair
chair
with
along?
you?
No, he's leaving the chair back where it is. Actually,
Okay.
no, he would carry it with him. He would carry the chair with him. He's
Okay.
literally just TKing it out in front of him.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He's finally conceded to the chair, conceded defeat, and is taking the chair to, well, Chair Med Bay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously he's keeping his own line of sight clear, right? So that he doesn't ram the chair into anybody.
Nah, it's kind of like, the chair's kind of like behind him and he's just like dragging it along like a dog.
Okay.
Or just an upset, child.
He sees Elena coming towards him. And of course, he probably starts adjusting the chair so that there's no
Yeah,
conflict.
kind of like just lift it up above, just that way we can go underneath.
And finds that very shortly he doesn't need to do that. She puts a hand on the wall, slows, and then collapses.
Just gonna quickly put the chair down, like go over to her,
Okay.
quickly pull out the bioscanner. Like, huh? Give her a once over with it, like
Okay.
trying to figure out what's going on.
I don't remember if the bioscanner includes a skill check or anything, or if it just automatically tells you everything.
No, it doesn't answer. It just gives me more information.
Yeah. Cool. Go ahead and roll me a heal check. Oh, yeah, wow. Elena is currently unconscious. She is showing signs on the bioscanner of extreme stress and exhaustion. She has literally worked herself unconscious.
Max is just gonna sigh, pick her up, put her in the chair, carry the chair to actual med bay.
It is so perfect that it rolled you.
Yeah, he's just gonna sigh deeply, just like.
The
Just gonna make
chair
sure.
lives another day.
Yes. Getting in the way of me fixing it, just carry her along, making sure it's in its proper default
It's
position.
not gonna throw
without
her
me getting thrown
out.
out.
Yeah.
No,
This is probably our fault for having Ivan on board.
I'm just gonna go over to medbay. Smax has a legit reason to be in there now. Yes.
I guess he does. On a 2, Sunny is there. Sunny is not currently considered on shift. She normally is just in the medbay doing other things, reading a book or reading up on doctory things when she's on shift. She tends to stay in the medbay. But off shift, yeah, she's either off in the galley or sleeping. Marcus has the run of the place.
Knowing that it's serious, and so I don't get accused of anything, he's gonna call her.
Okay.
You don't want to be accused at this point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just gonna give a little quick call, just like, hey, just to let you know, Elena's passed out, currently in med bay. And then just trying to, I guess, like, stabilizing her, make sure, get like an IV or the equivalent going,
Okay.
making sure all comfortable and stuff.
Roll me another heal check. Just see, you've got heal 0 or 1? 0. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and roll me another heal check. When
I've got heal of 2.
heal of 2.
I'm a healer.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, don't worry about rolling.
Okay.
This is easy peas. And I'm trying to say easy peasy without the E at the end, but yeah, this is easy peasy for someone of Marcus's skill level. The bioscanner, in fact, probably just confirmed everything that he, well, he may not have
Hypothesized.
suspected it, but yeah, he could easily assess some things, and the bioscanner confirmed that, and more importantly, confirmed that she wasn't going to die in 2 minutes. When Sunny does answer,
Brain aneurysm.
yeah, Sunny did answer on the first call, groggy at first, but very quickly Dresser, came to lucidity. And she hung up. Basically responded to Marcus. I'll be there in 20 seconds, and hung up. And now Sunny is violating the new procedures. Because she is not fully dressed either. She is more decent than Oogie was. But it's clear that she has rushed to medbay in bra, panties, a long shirt, and fuzzy slippers.
Max is just gonna be there with his arms closed, going.
Elena's gonna be so pissed.
I know. See,
Yeah.
you're the reason this happened, you know. Dressed like that.
No nonsense on Sunny right now. She just says, "No, it was Oogie walking around naked," and she comes around to. By the way, Tuller, I don't know if you've kind of gotten this through the NPC's word choices, but apparently the story that's gone around is not that he came in boxers.
Boxers, yeah. I picked up on that.
I gathered.
Fully naked.
Oh.
Not fully naked. Boots and hat.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Boots and hat.
I mean, that's fully naked for cowboy though, really, isn't it?
That
Yeah.
is cowboy naked. That's
Yeah,
that's how
exactly.
it's being called, cowboy naked.
Yeah, no.
And she scurries about, busies herself with checking Elena and checking the work that Marcus did, even kind of pushing aside from him, almost bodily pushing him out of the way.
No, yeah, I'll move out of the way. We'll go sit on his little, chair.
She rights herself, relaxing a bit, and finally exhaling apparently. Crosses her arms over her chest, looks slowly over at Marcus. Good work.
Oh, I'm not an idiot all the time, you know.
Did you try being not an idiot more of the time?
It requires work. Effort, you know.
Yeah. What happened?
So right, there I was. In the chair again. Flings me out on the floor. Faceplant, not a pretty sight. I'm fairly pissed off at this point.
Being an
So,
idiot.
no. Enjoying the comforts and discomforts. So, pick the chair up, walk down to, the workstation, well, workshop, and she comes walking towards me, looks all fine, and then just all of a sudden begins to just collapse. Not sure what it was specifically, but yeah. Maybe just the idiocy of seeing me carrying a chair to get fixed, maybe just made her keel over. Not 100% sure, but yeah, she didn't look to be the greatest of places.
Sunny taps her chin, shakes her head. I didn't know she was so stressed. Did you?
If I did, I would have been here a long time ago, stealing from here and getting some nice stuff going for her. So no, I didn't.
I might not have even reported you for that.
I'll take that as a compliment, actually. They always have, good intentions, albeit just might not be immediate. But yeah. And what we can do to, figure out what it was that, I don't know, killed her over.
I know she's been overworking herself, but I didn't know it was this far. Sunny busies herself at a console again. doing much the same as Marcus was doing with the bioscanner, just with better like actual emplaced equipment. Comes to the same conclusion. Shakes her head again. Nothing. No other concerning factors.
No, just exhaustion, really. Huh. Look. Max is just gonna think for a sec. Do we have any, like, you know, VR goggles?
Yeah, Nemesis gets them installed on every ship.
Oh yeah,
Right.
obviously.
See, what I'm thinking is, we load up one of them with some, like, soothing, holiday stuff, like a water planet, you're on a nice boat chilling, we'll sit her down in my chair, get some relaxation going, make sure she takes the next couple of jumps off, basically.
Sunny shakes her head. She won't sit through that. I think your instinct is probably the way to go, even though I don't approve.
Oh, you see, this is where the drugs come in. And
That's exactly what I mean. Don't bother
Yeah.
with
yeah,
the VR,
but
just drug her
drugs.
up.
No, but the drugs and the chair.
She is
Can just
not
make
sitting in that chair.
I'm sure we can make some straps for it.
You.
I don't need a captain with whiplash and extreme exhaustion issues.
So, obviously drugs will be temporary. What's the permanent solution here?
You are the closest the ship has to a second medical officer. You handle that responsibility?
Well, I don't think it's really much of a medical problem, more of a personnel problem.
I'm making it a medical problem. You are under my authorization to keep monitor on our captain, making sure that she is fit for duty. You see any signs that she is reaching this point of exhaustion again, you report it to me.
Does that mean I get a key to the cabinet?
Only for prescription and administration of necessary medication to the captain.
Yes!
I find anything missing, you lose this privilege.
Progress. I'll take it. Max is just gleefully smiling now.
Sonny's face pinches. Why did we not see this?
I think it was just more of a case of it became the norm, so nobody knew different. I
She
mean,
nods tersely.
maybe we just give her the next one off. Let her relax for the next mission. While we deal with whatever it is that needs dealing with. Because, yeah, I don't think it's suitable really to push themselves to that limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we go back to sleep. I'll just go drop. Nah, actually, nah. I'll keep this chair in here. I'll just watch over her.
Do not put her in that chair.
I know it's my chair.
And no straps. Alright. Thank you, Mr. Snow.
You're welcome. Figured you'd want to know before, you woke up.
And could you just not tell her about this? And she motions to her inappropriate dress.
Oh yeah, thank you. Pulls out the compact text picture.
Ooh, no.
She goes through a range of emotions on that face. Surprise, and then pissed, and then concession. And then she walks out.
Insurance.
She flips him the bird as she's walking out. Just behind her back.
Oh. It's not a good idea to blackmail the ship doctor.
It's not blackmail. It's not being acted upon yet. But yeah, that's fine. Max is just going to watch over Elena.
And to be clear, it's not like she was wearing anything truly inappropriate.
No,
It's
you described a long t-shirt.
yeah.
Technically,
It's why he
technically
did it.
more clothes than Oogie.
Yes. Yep. Oh, and actually one additional piece of clothing, but only because women have to wear bras and men don't.
You mentioned the bra.
Well, yeah, I was just
Yeah.
saying that she had 4 articles of clothing on, while Oogie
Yeah.
had 3, if you count the shoes as one article.
That's fair.
Okay, so yeah, if you count underwear as just a single article, then she had exactly the same amount of clothing as Oogie.
I mean, I think the important part is how much skin is showing, right?
Probably.
Yeah, she's got a
Arguably.
t-shirt. You're fine. Yeah, no. Max will just watch over Elena,
Okay.
checking her vitals over.
And the chair waits another day to be fixed.
Exactly. That's what he's most disappointed about.
So, Sonny did administer some drugs to Elena to keep her under against whatever it is that Elena is doing in body, mind, or spirit to have been awake enough, constantly enough to reach this point. So Elena is out for the next whole day and half the next day.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
The pilot drug, I forget what it's called. The super caffeine keeps you up for days.
Mm-hmm.
Anything like that in the system?
There wouldn't be anything like that on this ship, but yes, that is a drug that we had previously worked out and established, and it is available.
Lord knows there's a whole cornucopia of drugs present on Therid.
No, I mean it's
Yep.
it's a legit thing in the book. It's literally just it keeps you up for days. It's used for solo pilots.
Yeah, and Hugo had kind of an advanced version of that, if I recall.
Yeah.
I don't remember the specifics of it.
I can't either. It's been too long.
Yeah,
It's been too many years.
as. But yes,
Yeah.
those drugs are readily available. They're not even really all that well regulated, if at all.
Probably encouraged by the government.
I
Well,
think
that's
he was
what an
asking if it was
corporation-
in her system.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant. No, it's not. She did
Okay,
not
that's
have any sign of really any drug use.
Okay, that's fine. But no, I am going to get anything like that. I'm going to make sure it's actually aware if we have any on the ship, for whatever reason.
Okay. All right. For the rest of you, yeah, it's kind of a strange thing in the back of your minds, that kind of uncanny awareness that something is missing, and that something that's missing is just you're not kind of seeing Elena every few minutes or every few hours or so.
So word has not gotten out.
It's too small of a ship. I think word has gotten out
Word
because
has gotten out.
yeah, word has gotten out. She's in medbay, and it's not. While it is a locked room when there's nobody in it. Oh, actually, no, I don't even think it would be because crew can self treat themselves if they get bad cuts and such. So no, it's medbay is just open. Um,
Instead, you'll just be greeted by the back of a chair.
yes.
It's not blocking the doorway, it's just being an inconvenience so you don't get sight in.
Yep, and that actually helps word to spread because there's an obstruction to getting any kind of antibiotics or band-aids or anything.
Mm-hmm. But no, yeah, Max is just gonna look over.
And Marcus is keeping watch over Elena during this time.
Yeah, he's not doing out else.
Yeah, I think he probably pairs off with Sunny because yeah, she'll gladly spend 12 hours in medbay also. So Sunny will relieve Marcus uh, as their shifts cycle. Which means that if any of you were to visit Elena in medbay as she sleeps, you would get either Marcus or Sunny at your preference.
Oogie, quick question. You're getting on pretty well with Ivan, right?
I mean, every once in a while, yeah, he and I are on good terms.
Can you do a special request for me?
What
I
do you
want
have in mind?
something non-spicy, muffins, or brownies, but with this. And he'll
Like a
just hand
sweet
over
pastry, some kind of cake.
yeah, exactly. And he'll just hand over a bag. Just make sure this is included.
Oogie, knowing Marcus's tendencies, tucks the bag into the pocket and goes, "I'm not even gonna ask. I'll just pass the request along."
It's for medical reasons, okay?
All right, I believe you, Doctor Marcus.
Thank you, thank you. Just
See,
not spicy.
I
No
got a.
spice.
I'll tell him. I'll tell him. I got a question for you. And I feel it's kind of awkward to bring this up, but if our captain is impaired like this, just who exactly is in charge around here? Fact is, Elena always seemed to be there to answer questions like that, and I don't think anybody ever bothered to ask, what's the chain of command? Oogie looks worried. Like this situation has him on edge. He's not taking it well.
Look, to me, seems like you need to be administering yourself some of these brownies afterwards. But to answer your question,
I can give you that information as a GM if you'd like it. If you think that Marcus would know it.
no, Max is just gonna tap for a little bit and think. You know what? I reckon it'd be the doctor, you know. Not me, the other one. I mean, it makes sense.
Medical officer in charge? Yeah, I mean, it could.
I mean, 'cause it's treating the emergency, but then also knowing the procedures to happen next. I'm sure they'll have it down.
All right, so for whatever it's worth, Dex,
Mhm.
Oogie, after this scene, is going to ask around. Just try to figure out anybody, he's going to ask among the not vacant people,
Mhm.
more importantly.
Yeah. So there is a chain of command for passing command in situations like this, and it is medical officer, and after that is engineering or yeah chief engineer, and chief security. So there's 3 levels of backup.
So Elena, then Sunny, then Lily Grace, and then
would be Saul.
Saul. Okay.
Marcus was right. Hell yeah.
He was.
All right. So Oogie will convey during this whole inquiry where he's talking to the not vacant folks. He would run across Ivan and he would convey Marcus's request, but then leave the matter in Ivan's hands to make the delivery to Marcus.
Okay. All right. Ivan recognizes what he is being asked to do and goes about as if this isn't the first time he's done it.
I mean, and the fact is, Oogie's got leaf-infused cooking oil in his trade goods, so it's not like he wouldn't know something about this.
Yeah. And Ivan was talking with Lily Grace about poppy seeds. Well, not poppy seeds specifically,
Oh,
but poppy
yeah.
farming.
Opium.
All right.
So Oogie is going to go and talk with Sonny.
All right. Sunny is in the barracks. She's just got her feet kicked up on one side of her bed. Is propped against the wall. She's one of the lucky few who got a bed with two walls. Probably had something to do with her being a medical officer.
And when Oogie goes to see her, he is actually as smartly dressed as he can be, which means that he has not a uniform exactly, because we don't have uniforms, but he's wearing he's wearing his jumpsuit, and he's not wearing his cowboy hat or boots. He
Okay. By contrast, Sunny is the opposite. She is just sitting there in bra and panties. And it hasn't been discussed, but in a ship this small, you guys have all seen each other in your underwear already.
But it's only in the barracks, properly.
Now it's only in the barracks.
Now it's only in the barracks, yeah. and he actually, he doesn't know military protocol aside from what he's seen on TV, and so he's sloppy at this.
Mm-hmm.
But he actually approaches and salutes to kind of get Sonny's attention.
Okay. I'll throw out one additional detail that I think Oogie would notice. Sunny has clothes proper sitting on the bed right next to her. So she is ready to jump into pants at a moment's notice.
Okay.
Going forward, it's clear to him that that's a thing she's done. She looks up from her data slab over at him. Yes, soldier? I mean, yeah, yes, soldier?
Ma'am, sir, Captain, I don't know. Sonny, you're the acting captain. Well, Ms. Elena is otherwise occupied, and I wanted to come by and say I figured you might be kind of busy with taking care of the captain. And I mean, everybody on the ship has got responsibilities on the ship, and then there's those of us who are kind of the mission team. I've been brushing up a little bit on my military history and what have you. If you should need some assistance in that department, I just wanted to make it clear that my dossier may not be up to date with regard to my capabilities.
What are you suggesting?
Well,
Speak plainly. Speak plainly, soldier.
If you need somebody to take the night shift on the bridge, I can do it, and I'll dress properly.
That would actually be a relief over Lily Grace.
He kind of looks down at the jumpsuit that he's wearing. I wanted to prove that I could. He looks a little bit sheepish.
She smiles tightly at that. Yeah. I'll put you in command. Uh, Overnight shift. You'll need to get some sleep now, so that you can properly enter into that rotation without dropping from exhaustion like we've just experienced.
Understood. Just because I'm not on that cycle yet, you mind if I take a sedative to get me in the loop?
She nods. You can get one from Marcus. Tell him I've approved it.
Thank you, acting Captain Sunny.
Shang. Acting Captain Shang.
Acting Captain Chang.
She corrects him again. Shang.
Chang.
She
Sorry. Kamiego draw. Captain Shang.
she nods. Dismissed.
And Oogie heads out to enact this plan.
Okay. Oogie gets back to medbay with Ivan and still sleeping Elena. Not with Ivan, sorry, with Marcus and still sleeping Elena well before Ivan is finished cooking his edibles. Does Marcus give him any grief or resistance to getting that sedative?
Nah.
Okay. All right. Yugi has a fast-acting sleep now sedative.
All right, so yeah, heads back to the barracks, peels down, gets into bed, and doses himself.
All right. And a couple of hours later, unless anybody else is jumping in there with anything, Ivan has.
I was just saying, Archibald's staying out of the way.
Okay. Ivan has finished baking some brownies with a bit of chocolate flavoring, and a little bit of extra flavoring of some kind to offset the edible portion. And he brings a little porta box, not porta box, but little Tupperware container of the goods over to Medbay. This is the first time he's visited Medbay since Elena collapsed. Has a heat killed you, Ben?
Yeah, I was actually taking a drink. Sorry. My bottle's getting close to empty now. Rip. Yeah, sorry.
No worries.
Sorry. So who was revisiting Medbay? Sorry.
Oh, Ivan has arrived at Medbay with the edibles.
Ah, nice.
Um,
Thank you for this. Much appreciated. Have you took one for yourself?
No. Yeah.
Why not? The person needs to try their product to know it's good enough.
It is not appropriate. Getting high while on shift. I am on shift right now.
In which case, once it's finished, then you may partake.
Duh, I may do so.
In which case,
What is this edibles for?
Honestly, just to help everyone relax a little bit. We're going into unknown grounds with unknown variables into a place where it's going to be a very hazardous and corrosive place. So I want people to feel a bit more upbeat before they go there.
Yeah, his good plan. I'm not certain Elena will see it that way.
That's for me to worry about.
Well, make sure that when you worry about it, is Sonny's shift in medbay.
Indeed. Well, you enjoy the rest of your shift and make sure to enjoy these. And he's going to take the tray and just pass one back to him.
He takes it, wraps it up in
Good.
a little napkin that he brought along. Goes on back to, well, goes on back to whatever he's doing.
Yeah, in which case, Max is going to divvy up the portions in essence and just going to take a quick little break and go leave some outside of people's doors. Leave them a little note.
Well, remember, most of those doors are in the barracks. Doors,
Yeah,
per se.
you don't want to wake them up though.
Okay, so he's kind of leaving them at the bedside.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Sonny looks over at him as he's doing this. She's still just laying in her bed reading. Uh, what are those?
Brownies with
Her
ingredients inside.
her lips
You know what's
tighten.
inside.
Here comes the plane.
You know, stress isn't just, you know, it's not just one person will be afflicted. Everyone will be afflicted in different manners to
How
differing
strong are
degrees.
they?
I didn't give a big bag.
She
Be enough
looks
to
around the
relax you.
barracks, then holds her arm out. Well, holds her hand out.
Before bed? Okay, I'll just pass it over.
She doesn't respond verbally and looks like she's trying to eat it quietly, which is a silly thing to do with a brownie, but that's what it looks like she's trying to do. She looks suspicious eating it. She would instantly get caught if anybody were looking for people eating edibles.
How to look extremely suspicious eating a brownie.
And she does not to interfere with him passing out the rest of the edibles.
But yeah, basically just gonna leave him at the foot of the bed.
Today on Darkstar War, we got everyone high.
Administered medicine.
You know,
All right. So you've only got a couple of days left on this drill. This happened about midway through, so it kind of is actually good timing for the uh, to try and get people relaxed because Connor's not going to take any, and Natario is no stranger to uh, this kind of environment and working under it. Um, and so she seems to, be able to keep her wits and all the necessary skills available to her to if she needs to take over piloting through the drill. Um, the others are let's see, who do we got? We've got Fairbanks. Nope, she's a newbie. Yeah, Alexi's an old hand. He's certainly done things like this. Um, oh yeah, I guess it really is just Fairbanks and surprisingly No, I can't say Elazad would be a stranger to light drugs either. So just Fairbanks. Fairbanks is looped out of her mind.
Okay.
But
Bad.
sorry, go ahead, Meowkin.
No, I was gonna say just a bit of a bad trip.
I don't know if it's a bad trip.
Oh, okay.
I think
Just
that's
strong reaction.
fair to roll. She's never done anything like this before, and
Ah,
she didn't
okay.
know that she was doing it. Oh my goodness. Well, that does qualify for the +1 that brings it to a neutral, if I recall the chart correctly. Because Ivan is a good cook and gets a bonus on that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, 6 is a neutral. Um, that's why the 4s were so fantastic. So yeah, she has a neutral trip. She's a newbie to this. She didn't even know that she was taking drugs when she ate it. She just saw, ooh, somebody
then-
left me a brownie.
Let's see. Then once you realize, then you just kind of like really lean into it because hey, that's what you do, right?
Yeah, I suppose. But it does have the desired effect of relaxing some tensions throughout, and has the additional benefit of seeing people respond positively to non-spicy things. Um, I will leave it to each of you for whether your character is an old hand at light drug use.
Oh, well, I was gonna say Archibald's gonna be a bit of a stick in the mud and refuse the edibles, but he's not gonna spoil anyone else's fun.
Maya's too busy to get drugged up.
Okay.
Oogie accepts the brownie, but he doesn't eat it. He just wraps it up, and he keeps it someplace where he can eat it later. Because as we've previously established, Oogie responds to anxiety by going sober.
Yeah. Okay. Natario will gladly take either Amaya's or Archibald's if they're willing to give it
Oh
up.
yeah, I have at mine.
Yeah. And
Never took it in the first place.
okay. And you arrive in Kurituhirti. Assailed with ads and
Before we arrive there, though,
mm-hmm.
so if this was the halfway point, and you said that Elena was only going to be out for a day and a half,
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
how does she respond when she wakes up?
She is she's let's see. Well, let's see. No, Sunny would have tried to schedule it so that she was on shift when she anticipated Elena would wake up. Go ahead and make a quick roll for Sunny just to see if she can correctly moderate that, but she's pretty good at her job. Should modifier none. Oh yeah, yeah. She has definitely timed things right so that she's the one that's currently in mid bay on duty. Now Marcus is also skilled enough that he can anticipate this result and be present if he wants, or at least be close by, because he doesn't know
Yeah, he would be.
exactly when it'll happen, when she'll wake up, but within very within a time frame. And I think I heard you say that. Yeah, he would. So
Yes.
yeah. Elena is kind of coming around. This little sleepy trip was administered in a way that she's not going to be like groggy or anything like that for hours afterwards, although she is a bit confused when she wakes up. looks around and sees herself in medbay.
How are we doing?
Oh, what's happened?
You want the truth? You overworked yourself. You stressed yourself out. You collapsed.
It's fine. She starts to sit up. Uh, how long have I... How long?
About a day. Day and a bit.
Her eyes pop open. And she,
No.
she's trying. She's ignoring Marcus, and she is trying to get herself off the bed. Sonny is there trying to push her down, and if Marcus isn't helping, she's asking him to.
Oh yeah, Max is there.
Yeah. Sonny's bedside manner is not great. Do you want Marcus to try and be a little bit more soothing?
Yeah, that's what Max is going for.
Okay.
Like, look, this is the reason you're in this situation. Just sit down, count to 10, breathe for me. Okay?
Elena tries to order Marcus to get his hands off her, and Sonny very quickly cites authority and makes it clear that she is acting captain at this very moment.
Unfortunately, you are not present enough in mind and in body in order to command, just command really. And as such, it now goes to Sonny. Now, once you are deemed fit and well, it will then be passed back to you. But we'll have checks in place for this, making sure that this doesn't happen again. We understand you wish to do a good job. We understand you take pride in your work. But there comes a limit. You hit the limit, and you kept exceeding it.
Roll me a talk charisma, or yeah, I think talk charisma or connect. I think would be appropriate.
And they're both the same.
Okay.
5.
Actually, would you pop your... You've already put your healer skill up there. Hang on, let me read that real quick. Heal skill checks. That's kind of strange. He normally words it as when rolling things related to healing or something like that, so that you can do it with non-actual heal skill stuff.
That's fine.
I'm still going to give you that extra d6, so go ahead and just roll a separate d6. You can't get any worse.
Don't challenge me like that. You want to challenge me?
It's still not worse. It's just still a 5. Okay.
Oh yeah, wait. Employ medical and psychological treatment for the injured or disturbed.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Treat
I would.
Dark's
You know what?
psychological disorders.
Yeah, I was being too narrow on the heal skill, so I will just give you a full, complete do-over on that. That was my fault.
No? I'm
Okay.
taking that role.
Okay, so going with that, Elena starts tearing up. She is her heart is starting to well, it's elevating, and she's looking like she's tearing up.
No. I don't want you to reflect on this and think it's just because we don't think you are capable. In fact, we think you are fully capable. But you're putting too much pressure on yourself. Did you agree with this sentiment?
I'm fine.
If you were fine, we wouldn't be in this situation.
She squeezes her eyes tight. A tear rolls out. Please, not to tell Commander, not to tell Zoe.
Why would we need to do that?
She nods feebly.
So,
Just a note. Elena can't see it, but Sonny is looking skeptically at Marcus, as in, like, you know why we need to do this. Not skeptically, disapprovingly.
he's just gonna shrug. So, how do you think we make this better for you?
I don't know. Don't know.
Is it you don't know, or you've not thought about it?
I, I, I do not know. Work is only thing.
But it can't be the only thing.
What do I do?
You want the truth? You need to learn to take breaks. You need to learn to delegate. You need to take the time to step back. Instead, like with our cowboy friend there, instead of making everyone have to wear a uniform, you can instead make a joke out of it. You could have got him to put on a fashion show to show what kind of clothing he can wear. Make him dress up in everyone's clothes.
It's not that kind of ship. It's not right.
You say it's not that kind of ship. But why isn't it that kind of ship? Are you not allowed to, relate to others? Have a break during our travels? We are not yet
We
at
have
the mission, are we?
serious mission.
We do indeed. Are we there yet? Did we have a break previously?
No.
Okay.
No time.
So this is our break. What do you mean there's no time for breaks? What are we doing in these 21 days leading up to getting there? We are refueling and doing occasional investigating. And we are meant to be supporting one another.
But what about the training?
There is always time for training, but there's always time to help oneself. How have you been helping yourself? How have you been healing? Not so much physically, but mentally, because you were drained. You are training your body, but not your mind in a conductive manner. You're putting unrealistic expectations on yourself, hoping to achieve an outcome that you don't know what to do with.
Elena deflates. You can kind of tell that she just sinks back into the bed.
No. This is no way a bad reflection of you. I think it's just you put too much pressure on yourself. You strive for perfection. Constantly. But you need to learn to take a break. No one's perfect forever. I mean, just simply think back on the Raza. Did they get everything right all the time? Did they constantly work? No breaks, no nothing?
Yeah. Totally, man.
Is different.
Different how?
Job of the crew to keep operation running.
But do you not see them as role models, then? Surely, if they took the time to have breaks, to understand the duties of one another, to understand the importance of their physical and mental well-being, that you shouldn't, I guess, follow suit.
It's still different. Zoe's child. Expect her to act immature and irresponsible sometime.
But if that were the case, surely the others would have picked her up on it, would have taught her not to. Instead, they went along with it because they knew the good it does.
For her.
But for the others as well.
No. Yet
No,
Jaya,
how?
Commander Rao never took break. Nemesis never took break. Charlie always secured ship, never took break.
You say that, but you've also got to think, did they put undue pressure upon themselves?
Yeah, again.
I'm just sitting here thinking, who's making a role model out of Rao?
Or Nemesis.
She was
Really,
the
any of the
laziest.
original.
Oh, back to the scene here. She oh, I'm sorry, Ben. What was the last thing he asked? That just threw me off.
Not everyone can like push themselves all the time. People can have breaks.
Okay.
Not putting undue expectations upon themselves.
She sniffles. Is harder with Ivan. Jeep.
Why? How?
I think of him at first.
Think of him. Why?
She looks at Marcus and then looks over at Sonny. I was pregnant once. If this silence is in character and Sonny isn't saying anything,
That
Sonny,
Max is just nodding.
Sonny actually just kind of still seems a little bit upset with Marcus here. Then Elena will jump in to further clarify. Uh, we have we have had relationship a long time.
What's the situation currently?
We cannot be together because of me.
Who said that?
It was unprofessional conduct.
To care deeply about one another?
No, we've got in fights constantly. She is right at this point. She is very reluctantly speaking.
Well, so far I don't believe it's impeded you in any way. Do you think it's impeded you?
I don't know. Just tell me what is needed.
What's needed is you to acknowledge that you need to better delegate and make sure you properly allocate yourself time to relax. Do you agree with the first portion of that?
Do I have choice?
Everyone has the choice. They'll just change the outcome of certain things. Maybe prolong certain things.
Yes, agree.
But do you agree fully? You may agree now just to get you out of this room, but we need a commitment that you'll understand this for time to come. Because this doesn't just get fixed by saying yes. This takes work.
Then I cannot answer. Do not know.
Good.
I have an interjection.
Yes. Is it
Um,
in character or out of character?
sort of, it is an in-character action
Okay.
related to the existing scene. Specifically, if she's been out for a day and a half, then Oogie has had one night of night shift on the bridge,
Mhm.
and it was probably uneventful. But nonetheless, I'd like to make a leadership role, just so that Marcus could have some evidence to show her that the ship, that the crew is capable of running the ship.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, Oogie would be doing things by the book
Nice.
at this point. He doesn't have any practical experience, and so I'm going to do intelligence plus lead.
Okay.
Suppose
Before you roll that, would he uh try and get any aid? Not like going around asking people, but do you think that there's
I was gonna actually say on that front, Archibald would probably be helping make sure that everything runs smoothly.
perfect? What skill do you want to roll to give him an aid check?
I guess ideally notice to see anything that's kind
Okay.
of out of place.
So Archibald is my eyes and ears on the ship.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so Archibald has kind of sensed the shift in dynamic and is kind of stepping in to provide a little bit of support. Go ahead and roll your notice check, and Tulare, you can roll your lead check. With whatever ability score you think is appropriate, Tulare.
Okay, is that 8 enough to give me a +1?
It is.
I will include that in the roll.
Yeah. I mean, presumably this shouldn't actually be that hard for us to run the ship.
I think the threshold that he's trying to reach is to run the ship in a way that makes it
So
clear.
bad.
Oh no, that's with the +1.
Yeah, that's snake
Oh.
eyes.
Oh no. And you are a mixed, aren't you? You're not full expert.
I am only a partial expert. So Oogie has had a rough first night.
He has had a rough first night. Yeah. Meowkin is right. This crew is good. They mostly manage and self-manage themselves.
Probably some maybe some excessively high standards that Elena has though.
Yeah, I think that's what trips Oogie up is that things run very efficiently, but there is just a situation that comes up, and
Anytime he speaks up, the tension in the room is essentially that's not the way that Elena would have done it.
Yeah, it's like, well, the book
Yeah,
says
there you go.
do it this way, but no, we do it this way because it's better. But that's not in the book, yeah, but it's better.
Yeah, perfect. I like that. So
in that case, Marcus need not share the information with Elena while he's trying to convince her that everything is going well. But Elena will see it when she reads the reports later.
Here's the thing: it doesn't need to run as well as Elena needs it to.
all right.
But
Well,
anyway,
you still have that information about how the ship is running, and it is still running perfectly fine. With a couple of such minor hitches in slight disagreements with between command and action.
I'm just thinking it's like, oh, well, the inspection says do this, this, and this, yeah, but it takes longer, and this does the same thing. Well, do it that way anyway.
Yeah.
So it just things have took a bit longer. Yeah, no, Max is gonna like, so, it's good you didn't lie. Because not everyone will know the answer at this point. Just as long as you're open to the possibility of changing for the future.
So is trick question.
Only the fact that you are open to there being an answer, though. So, if you were to leave this room, what would you be doing?
glances over at Sunny. Some you have ship under command.
Things aren't on fire.
Duh.
And I've been taking care of medical while she's been doing other things.
I will turn to my quarters. And Elena does have private quarters. Turn to quarters and wait doctor release.
Sonny, would you approve of the other medicine I have?
That furrow of disapproval deepens. But she nods.
Okay, then.
But she nods.
So, Elena, to be fully upfront, Ivan did some baking. Per my request. No, you can imagine the kind of request I made. It's been received well by the crew so far. Do you wish to partake? I would heavily recommend it. Only so much so that it will help you relax
But
and
giving
get
drugs
acquainted.
to my crew?
I've made the stipulation it must be done once your shift is over. The effects are mild. And I mean mild. Again, this is a choice, but I would recommend it simply so the fact you can relax and reflect on what's been said today.
She shakes her head. No, will not have it in reports that crew on drugs on mission and that captain is getting high on mission.
But I mean, if I don't really understand the reason why, though. I mean,
They are
it
still
doesn't
on
have to
mission.
pertain to the exact ones, only that drugs are administered.
No.
But it's your choice. I will not force you one way or another.
I'd like to go to quarters now. Please
Okay,
let me
then.
up. Also worth noting, because Marcus has actually had to bodily position Elena, move her. She's surprisingly on the weak side. She does not have a lot of strength in her body. And it's not just the stress and exhaustion. She is just physically weak.
Well, I will say one thing, though. You definitely need to eat. As such, what do you want?
Hang on real quick.
I think now would be a perfect time to reminisce on, perhaps, a meal.
That will work. Uh, Steamed rice noodle with ginger and chili. Ivan knows how to make it.
In which case, I will go ask.
I will retire to my room. When Elena has left, actually, let me rephrase that. as Marcus is talking with Ivan, and Ivan does indeed know how to make it. He even seems heartened that Marcus is asking. He has made the leap that Elena is up and about, is feeling fine, and has requested her favorite meal. Um, he even though she wasn't specific about what type of chili, and he has 8 different types, he even knows what type she wants. Um, he gives a chuckle and says that he'll just make a small private batch because it is on the spicier side of things and not among the crew's favorite. He knows that much. Says it'll be ready in 45 minutes. While Marcus is having this conversation with Ivan, he gets a message from Sunny to report back to her immediately. Well, as soon as he's done with Ivan.
Mm-hmm.
When he comes back, she is standing there, taking the IVs out, not taking them out, but putting everything back where it's supposed to be. You promised her, you all but promised her that this would not get reported. Why?
Because if we were to fix this, then why would we need to?
Mr. Snow, this happened. It has to be reported. I've already written it in my report.
In which case, wait.
I haven't sent it. There's no reason to. But why shouldn't we?
What do you hope to gain from doing so?
Just informing command.
That
Elena has mental health issues. Sorry, she actually uses her name. That Captain Kozlov has mental health issues.
they are being addressed now.
We can't make that determination. That is not our place to make.
We as doctors cannot determine if a patient is making progress or not and is
We
on a
can
path to recovery.
we can give our diagnosis, but withholding this incident breaks protocol.
Okay, so walk me through then. We inform them of what has transpired. What happens next? If you want to go down this route, let's walk through it. What happens?
That's not my place to say.
No, what happens?
I'm not playing this game with you.
I'm not wanting to play a game. I'm wanting to fully understand what will proceed after your report.
Then I guess we'll find out.
So you don't know what will happen after your actions? You will do so blindly?
It'll go in her file. Probably nothing will happen. She's been a incredible employee here, or crew, captain. She was
Okay.
a favorite crew on the ship, on the Raza, and she's being given these benefits that she may not be capable of uh what's the word I'm looking for? Something like the upholding of holding.
So, if I were to make a judgment based off what you've just said, I would instead describe it as a person who's come from a very prestigious browser, whereupon they want to be known as a person who wasn't just lucky for being in their graces and instead can carry on the high quality of work. They are putting undue pressure upon themselves,
But you know that's
and
not the truth, though.
what do you mean? What truth do you see?
It's not just luck, but it's also she's unproven until now, and this proves maybe she shouldn't have command of a ship yet.
It's, I'm not following. I understand the sentiment you're
She
going for, but
collapsed in the hallway, Mr. Snow, because she couldn't control herself in command of a patrol boat. What would have happened? You want to walk through something. What would have happened if we encountered pirates 15 minutes after she came to this med band? We'd put these drugs in her.
in which case, myself or someone else would have led the situation.
That's me. I'm acting captain.
In which case, would you have led the situation? Or would you have delegated?
Know where
Would you
she's
have been
coming from
just...
in that. You can't just delegate the fate of an entire ship away. In this hypothetical, I'm then responsible for all the lives on this ship. We are ambushed by pirates. That falls on me, whether we live or die. You can't just
No, it
delegate away
falls upon the
responsibility
crew.
like that.
It's the responsibility of everyone on the ship to ensure everything goes smoothly.
It's the responsibility of everyone on the ship to follow the captain's orders in a time of crisis. No questions asked.
Indeed.
And with her collapsing like that, puts me inexperienced in commanding a ship in combat.
So you would then delegate, would you not?
No, because I'm then the captain. I can't
No,
just
but
stand back and say, okay, you guys do everything like you do, and watch 5 different people do 5 different things as lasers and torpedoes are flashing at us.
so you don't think our team can work together then? In high pressure situations?
I think our team can work together just fine when we have a unified command. And I don't know the right things to do in that situation. If I start saying, okay, Mr. Oh shit, what is Archibald's last name? Did Archibald have a last name?
Yeah, that's Flynn.
Okay. If I then say, Mr. Flynn, what should we do? And Mr. Flynn says something, but somebody else has a different idea. We have, again, 5 different people that think they know best, and a captain who is asking for opinions in a high stakes situation. Unacceptable.
So if we were in a high stakes situation... Actually, know what? I'll reverse it back on you. Why did you check my work for the captain?
That's my job as ship doctor.
But I'm a doctor. I'm fully qualified. Why did you check it?
Because that's my job as ship doctor.
But it was a high stakes situation. Surely you should have kept with my judgment.
I'm not having this argument anywhere with you. And I am going to put a little bit of a pause here. Because we're after 3. and I want to make sure that people are okay with continuing the scene to its conclusion. Does anybody need to jet out now and abandon us? I don't
I'm
hear
a bit
anybody.
peckish, but
What's that?
said I'm a bit peckish, but I can hold out.
Okay. And I also need to kind of put a cut in there because this is the kind of conversation that I can see Sonny's personality and what you're portraying from Marcus going around in circles. So if you're okay with this, Ben, would you mind if we put it down to another skill check to see if Marcus can basically navigate around Sonny's predispositions here?
Yeah, I'm done with that.
Okay, I feel a little bit bad taking away actual voiced roleplay, but
I mean, it's fine then. Max has made his points.
yeah, that's actually a good way to put it. Is that we've both presented the position of the character. Now let's see if Marcus can
Sway.
yeah, and this I will give you the heal check bonus. I think in fact it seems like an int heal check to me.
Okay, dockers.
That
One
is
doctor, another.
a little bit of my assumption that Marcus is still approaching this from a what's best for Elena medically and mental health wise, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But he's also trying to think about the crew as well.
Okay.
Just the fact that Sonny here doesn't have faith in the rest of the crew. Working as a cohesive unit.
And I spoke over somebody. Was there another contribution there?
No, just
Okay.
comment.
Okay, gotcha. I missed it. Sorry.
It's okay.
Wow. Well, okay. Sonny reluctantly concedes. This reluctance is in part she's not fully on board. She is accepting some of the reasoning, but she doesn't hold those same opinions. And also in part, she doesn't like having to concede like that. Basically doesn't like admitting that, hey, maybe she might be wrong. So, but she does concede, she does withdraw, and does Marcus ask her to amend her report to remove anything that looks bad for Elena, or?
No, he doesn't want anything removing, only the fact it be delayed.
Okay.
So that way, if, she makes progress, then it can be deep whether or not it should be released or not.
Okay. She agrees to that. And with that, I'll ask, do you have any final words to contribute to the scene before I close this out?
Only that I thank her and respect her.
Yeah, you know what? That makes up some ground. She appreciates the sentiment and seems to hold this conversation against Marcus a little bit less.
Fine with me.
There is still some resentment, however. And we'll go ahead and...
Also, as part of this, you can use the chair once a day. I'll give permission.
That
kinda
at
smiles.
least...
And also, as a thank you, he'll open his compad, go to pictures, turn it towards her. You can push the button.
She deletes it as quickly as it's there.
There you go.
And the chair at least elicits a bark of clipped laughter and a retort, I'm not touching that thing. Possessed.
This is I want you to see this as me respecting you and trusting you. I
Right.
didn't want there to be any, I guess, anything you think might have swayed your opinion otherwise, outside of the statements I stated.
Yeah. She accepts that.